prescribed.
Right.
So
We have legitimate questions, and we're bombarded with people that say, "Well, why do you have a question about this?"
Yeah.
As if we don't have a legitimate, question about, the shape of the Earth, or
Or,
the, the
or
function
I
even
think you were
of
going. I think you were
orbital
going somewhere
mechanics.
physics, and you were cut halfway.
yeah,
Yeah,
I need to break it down to the actually where we're at right now. So I want to bring it down to the reference point, which is as far as the history itself and the spirituality.
hmm,
Um, all right. So we need to get out to exactly what we have, what was given to us, actually, and look exactly what is before us.
yeah.
So as far as megalithic structures, we have engineering, and still, again, we have architecturals, which is floods already. I don't know whether if I could throw in the panel Dark City, Dark City, Dark City. What the hell? I
Hmm,
don't know if you guys saw that movie, but
yeah.
something has been replaced, and from the stage has been set for us as if we came here and heck, what the hell? This is what we got, and this is the information, and here's the history. Now,
well,
the history before this is obviously quite different. We're talking about energy work. We're talking about the spirituality, much different.
Yeah.
Um, I'm
Yeah.
getting telepathy. I'm getting as far as other things as far as in the natural world. I'm hearing shamans or advanced shamans or that's into ayahuasca
Hmm,
would be in a group and just laughing and be in some other communication. Like
yeah.
they have an idea on what it is. I mean, this is the experience that I'm having from people just to go into the forest and see. And what I really can tell you right now, the only way to walk in this lonely path is really finding out what's really to be true. And what I'm thinking is really getting back with nature, and nature itself is going to, we already have the code, so we would have to unlock it. And the only way we have to do is get back to nature. And I'm pretty sure it's going to definitely show us the way. Now, more importantly, I hate to leap forward on exactly my concept and what it is, but I need to give you guys a heads up. We're not from apes, which is fine. So I'm just going to give you, somewhat what I think it is. So I don't think I'm talking absolute, but we are plant-based based on all the evidence that we're taking and everything else and what we consume. All right. So if we were to actually break it down to what we really, really are, I believe we really are flora, and we came out of a pod originally from the very beginning. Not a fig tree, but the actual pod itself.
I haven't quite heard that.
Debunk me on that. Boom.
that's an interesting theory.
That's deep shit. Like we're talking about body snatchers, but
Indeed,
think
that's
about
deep
this.
shit.
If we're gonna think about a real genetic,
I
natural, untouched, clean
I
human
heard you
being, we're
talking
talking.
about the shaman shit yesterday on Ponchos a little bit,
Oh
with
yeah,
the
well
with
the
the
other guys were.
shamans and with the laughing and all that. I did catch some of that.
Well, yeah, the guys are actually. We have Merle Beauregard. He actually went to
Yeah, I
the
was listening
Amazon.
to him tell that story. Yeah.
Yeah, he's into the natural stuff, and it's just the way he talks is it's relaxing. You know what I mean?
This
You could
guy is
either
interesting. You got a beautiful mind, man. This old man with the turtle in the logo, man. We gotta hear more from you more times, you know.
Yeah.
oh, I
Physics,
mean, no, I
physics
have.
is awesome, man.
Well, you'll only find me in discussions. I'll talk in discussions. At a debate, I would have to do a curtsy,
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
meaning in a point that is respect and whom to actually, because the narrative, there's a specific narrative that actually needs to be in a debate where I have a benchmark and keep it at that point. But at a
Well,
discussion, I can pick up and build with you guys.
psychic. This theory of this plant based. Can I just say? Okay, so
Go ahead.
science says we're carbon based, right? So when you burn meat, when you burn dried up things, or let's say meat, you char it and it becomes like carbon, which feeds plants, and what if is it a closed loop sort of thing?
It's a symbiotic loop. Think about let's look at back at the very beginning, where if that very beginning of that pod, if that pod is actually the human pod, the original pod, original being, would
Hmm.
have all the actual real drivers, no filters, no firewalls, no nothing. We're talking about a story from the past, the time that these titans were gods, man, and these titans are not giants; they're titans. I mean, like you used to see like the evidence of these massive mountains and excavations all over the world.
Yeah.
If it is to be, let's say, one tree, that tree it may bore that giant pod. I don't know, but who
Yeah,
knows? But we're talking about civilizations in the past, and we're talking about spirituality and its existence of where we come from. It would have to be the tree of life. We're all pointing the tree of life, the flower of life. It's the plant. So if that being has come out, it would have we would call powers, man, because this is original DNA coming, and the tree itself could have been probably alive. I don't know. So I mean, there's a lot of things that was excavated in the past, either purposely or indirectly for resource. I don't know. I mean, these are just concepts I need to throw down the panel because I'm not down with the apes, man.
no.
Yeah.
It's more than
If I need
apes.
to heal myself, it's going to be plant based, plant over plant.
Psychic. Don't do. It's not just apes. It's fish monkeys. First we were fish, and then we
We're fish. Oh,
fish.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
your grandparents were fish monkeys.
Okay. I keep forgetting the footsteps on how we got into the
Right.
apes.
You know.
I got lost somewhere on the gene pool.
Yeah, but
Mine is pretty
weren't
simple.
we dirt first before that we were fish? It was like,
No,
weren't we
supposedly
dirt?
a lightning bolt hit the water and then
Hit the primordial soup, right? Primordial
Yeah.
soup.
Like all the ingredients and everything else,
Right.
like mitochondria, the actual amino acids, the peptide bonds, all kinds of stuff. Then boom, there's the human pod. But I believe it. I mean, looking at all the diversities of the plant, and actually at this present moment, it has dominance, as you could tell. I don't know. I mean, there's so much things that we've not, things that we haven't been educated what it is to be. So I don't know. I'm just throwing my philosophy, and I think naturally we're a plant. We're flora.
So do you think
So
that might be something that's still going on somewhere in the
could be
world, or
could be the
did we
center pole.
stop?
It could be the center pole or a different puddle. I don't know, but right now we're contained in a specific general
well,
area.
if you look at the Earth, the most durable life is the root based. You know, when a deer dies and the shit just grows over it and it consumes, man.
Sure. There's like Titans that shows like there were actually big. This is like a large graveyard, and obviously things change, excavations happen, whatever. But what's unearthing is these Titans, and then you would see a face, and all of a sudden, of a bush that would take the figure of an actual eyebrow for the Titan. So, man, I mean, it is mysterious as things that what I'm getting right now than what is to believe, because in class, the stuff that I was taught, I fell asleep, and my social studies teacher was an alcoholic. So, I mean, and that was the last period. I dreaded going to that period, and the only time I wanted to go to that period is if I know I need to go take a nap. So, these stories that I'm getting right now are sometimes sounds like it makes sense and mysterious and has a sexiness to it. So that's what I'm getting from other people from different panels. So I'm very much open for discussions as far as what it is. But if I smell something and I know it's not, I'm pretty quick to flag it. Or if you guys are gonna overrun me, I'll go right straight to a debate, in a sense. But it all depends.
Do you ever worry about that? Like you said, the information you're looking into has like a sexiness to it, and do you ever worry about if I don't know, it's just more entertainment than actual truth?
Well, I mean, it is interesting. I mean, I'm just adding the candy coats, the sexiness to it, only because I mean, I'm not asleep, and I'm not, making excuses to go to that period. I mean, if I was if these stories were a lot that were in, and when I was going to high school, I'd love to go to social studies or geography. You know what I mean? It would be very interesting. But in high school, I was known more of a rebel without a cause.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really battled with I was a varsity jacket. I was a captain. I played all the sports, and I rebelled. Right, for some reason, I rebelled in the 11th grade. I dropped everything, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then I don't know what happened, but then I didn't know what still was going on. So I went to the military to get the program. And I knew what it was about.
Did it work? I didn't last very long in the Marines. I don't know.
I don't know. I love it, man. I kind of love it. I like the outdoors.
I love that part too. But just being the number and, you know, God bless America and we're fighting freedom and all that fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I know. I was
that Jim?
Yeah, I was hazed and stuff like that.
Jim, you came back, Jim?
Yeah, guess so.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim.
You must be
I just know you. I just know that.
Chinese now? What's he doing?
Are you delivering Chinese food, Jim?
That's good. Or you're delivering us the Chinese food.
No, I go Chick-fil-A. I get the Chick-fil-A with the waffle fries, and I get 2 customers.
I will take a number 36, please.
Oh, we have number 33. You like number 33? We'll give you number 33.
It's
number 36.
What's that? Chick-fil-A.
You like the fried rice with the number 36?
No, I don't want. I want white rice with number 36, but I don't want it spicy.
No, we got no white rice. We got fried rice. You like fried rice?
No, I don't want fried rice. I don't want fried rice. I want white rice.
Okay, you want extra fried rice? We give you extra fried rice. Okay, what else?
All right, whatever. Just put it on Jim. Just put on Jim's credit card. That's fine. I'll take it.
I need a lot of duck sauce with that too, Jim.
Well, extra duck sauce? Extra duck sauce, okay? You want one?
Well, give me 2, because every time I ask for extra, you give me 2, and that's not.
Jim, stop that nonsense. I'm offended. You're insulting my Chinese wife.
Oh,
You know what Chinese food
Jim
Your
credit.
microphone sucks.
Jim's gonna go home and eat some. I mean, Eric's gonna go home and eat some Chinese. So.
At least some real Chinese food, not this freaking whatever this shit is in this country.
Well, it's virtual, I guess.
So what is it?
I'll take a spring roll though.
Yeah, I don't know. I dabbled. I did my shaman. You know, I've done DMT a couple times and ayahuasca once, and all I know is, man, that shit just ended it for me. Like, this is pretty much being told that this reality is total nonsense.
Yep.
I want to try ayahuasca one day.
Yeah, me too.
DMT is a little easier.
Drugs are bad.
Those aren't drugs. Those are not pharmaceuticals. Those are natural plant-based things.
Speak for yourself, P. Mars.
Oh, I think Trump didn't Trump approve for growing harvest now for weed. This is federal. I think he just signed the bill last night.
Say that again.
I think Trump signs the bill last night. You're allowed to now grow weed federally.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where? Anywhere in the United States?
Well, it's federal jurisdiction, so they have a blanket. You know, I mean,
So it's
or only in the places where it's already legal.
Yeah. So, but I would like. I mean, this is what I just heard this from the news, so I want to confirm that.
See, I think all drugs should be legal, but I think the reason they're legalizing marijuana is because they want everyone stoned while they take our rights and freedoms away.
But my question is, do you think marijuana should have been?
Monsanto wants to deal with it.
Do you think it should have been made illegal in the first place?
no.
Well, there's no seed.
P. Mars.
No, I don't. I think they should use in Amsterdam, the drugs are legal, but there's social peer pressure not to do drugs. If you do drugs,
Why are you even talking about legal versus illegal? That's an illusion. They should just decriminalize it. Don't fuck with people.
people call
That's what
you
I'm saying. Like
junkie.
somebody took a plant that grows naturally out of the earth and decided to call it illegal for other people to do with it what they want. Like, that's, to me, is just fucking ridiculous.
It's insanity.
But then they could have commercials all day for fucking drugs that give you 35 different side effects, and that's okay. I can ask my doctor about that, but let me try to smoke some fucking weed, not hurting nobody, and I gotta go to jail. So that's awesome. Fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I mean, listen, if you want to drink Drano, go ahead. Doesn't need to be illegal. Like what? You need to drink Drano, have fun, sniff glue, whatever, turpentine. What the fuck? I don't care. The idea that you can tell somebody what they can put in their body and do with their own body is just retarded.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You've got to be literally clinically sociopathic to even think that's okay.
And there are plenty of people that think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a law.
Well, they justify it because a lot of people who are addicted to hard drugs and like crack, and then they'll do other crimes to get money to buy crack.
But those are monetary.
These assholes are the ones that are putting the fucking crack in the streets, T-Bar, as you know that.
They have to get the money. They have to get the money somewhere. So it's all just a way to more profit.
Jim, your mic sucks, bro. We can.
Yeah, the CIA taught the street gangs how to make crack.
Oh, that's probably true.
Think if they never criminalized things like marijuana, like people would just grow it. You wouldn't need to go rob your neighbor's TV to fucking get some weed.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, didn't that all start with making hemp illegal? Because hemp was being used for everything, and then the paper industry was all threatened.
I think the street drugs are just as bad as the pharmaceutical drugs, you know. So.
Jim, we can't hear you, Jim. Your mic sucks in your car, I think. We can't hear you.
There, I turned off the Bluetooth. Do you know why? You know why hemp was made illegal?
Go ahead, Jim.
It
was so Randolph Hearst could sell his newspapers using trees that would make him a boatload of money. That hemp was not making him money in the paper business, so that's why hemp was made illegal.
There you go.
It's all about paper.
Well, I think there's more than just one reason, but that's one big one.
Well, that's one of the major reasons.
Yep.
Because it was being discovered you could use hemp for literally everything. And
they use it with
certain industries, like the
speaker?
paper industry, was not comfortable with that. So they started putting out propaganda bullshit like fucking movies like Reefer Madness and all this bullshit. Telling people, oh, it's bad to smoke weed and marijuana and all that shit.
Yep, it's all fucking bullshit. Well, I got to go into the Chick-fil-A and get the chicken.
Oh, there goes the mobile version. Chocolate must be on his mobile. So yeah, I mean, it's just insane that we live in a reality where some people think they can dictate what you can do with your body.
Oh, absolutely. Like the food that you eat. Jeez, that's one thing. Actually, that's the main thing.
Yep.
That's where, I mean, obviously Monsanto has this food on the food, but I think there's no problem. They're definitely going to do it with the weed because it's there's no seeds. Well, I mean there's seeds, but in a point.
The term is heirloom seeds. They can't save them and regrow the next season. It's you gotta go back to the source, Monsanto.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's perfect for them based on since people like smoking the plant without the seeds anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a pothead, not a big fan of it, but I think people getting all excited and gleeful over marijuana being legal, I think they're scamming you again, guys. I hate to say it.
Not for the pleasure, I believe so, but for the health medicinal and remedies, I think they're trying to get as much as they can get out of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that they're going to tax it, and Arwen's a big fan of that because he likes government and stuff. But
sure, absolutely.
It's just going to be another tax revenue, and you're going to get a license and another permit, and you're going to have to pay a fee, and it's whatever. I mean,
you're not going to have to do anything. None of us has got to have to.
Well, I don't participate in a lot of license, and not all of them because there's so many, but wherever I can, I just don't partake in the shit they say I'm supposed to do. And they don't fuck with me, really. I think I've made my status quite clear to the system. Like, don't fuck with me that much, because I'm not that dumb. Move on to the next sucker that believes that you have to fill out every goddamn slot on the form. And you know what's funny? I assume that everyone's flown internationally. Those arrival cards when you get before you land in another country, and like where you're staying and what's your job. Like, I've always filled out like I'm a prostitute. I'm staying in some Devil's Dungeon S&M club, and nobody ever stopped me over those things. So what do they do with that crap? Or is it just a bullshit thing to make people believe that they're safe and checked upon? You know what I'm talking about?
Much. No. I could actually imagine you getting questioned though for filling out shit on that.
They don't look at it. They look at your passport and they make you look in the camera. That little card, the arrival card that you fill in by hand, and you're like, and I write really badly so they can barely read it. But like, nobody ever asks me about what's on that form. They just take it and put it in a box, and they scan your passport. But they still make you do that arrival card. I've never been stopped, and I've always filled out nonsense.
Well, I got to go through it pretty soon, so I'm in the kind of self-debate whether to take Viagra.
What did you say? Take Viagra?
Yeah.
Why are you taking Viagra?
Well, what kind of symptoms would I get if I take Viagra?
What kind of What?
Well, if I took Viagra, what would happen to me?
You'd get.
I guess it just makes your dick hard. I don't know.
There you go. So before I go to TSA inspection, I'm gonna be good and prime.
Oh, just have a now
So
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I'm gonna go with shorts. I'm gonna go with t-shirt. Shorts.
Oh, you mean walking through? You're talking about walking through the security thing, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get petted anyway. So I'm going in with
a
boner,
boner?
my sandals. I'm gonna go with my shorts. I'm gonna go with my t-shirt, and I'm gonna go live with Viagra. So now I'm gonna go probably put everything through, and then all of a sudden I may have a paper safety pin on my t-shirt. I'm gonna trigger the thing by accident. Oh no.
I'm actually in a lot of cameras where when they make you start taking the shoes and belts off, I start taking off my trousers, and they, oh no, don't do that. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. So I'm on video a lot.
Oh no, they're gonna be shocked. No, I know. That's funny. But the funny thing is when they hear those sound effects like Pavlov, like a bell, and then I go into the actual like machine and things go off because I may have forgotten to take off a paper clip somewhere in my pocket. I don't know, but I'm gonna be walking in with a t-shirt, shorts, and the sandals and Viagra. So if they want to pat me down, that's not a problem.
Are they gonna be like really, really tight shorts, like total gay pride style or something?
Well, I'm going to be crotch pocket. Absolutely.
With Viagra.
Yeah, with Viagra. So I don't know that or something, or maybe I'll just Bear Grylls it, but with like a shorts. But
put a cock ring on. That'll set off the metal detector too.
But then they will look like premeditated, and I may get a fine. The only thing I want to go in natural, and if they want to go through me naturally, so be it. Live.
You could have some lipstick on your dick, though.
Well, no, I don't want to go too that much extreme. Maybe I'll put some cologne on it or something, but not a lipstick. On my dipstick.
Where you heading to?
Left us overstocked. And this year, the winter storms have left us overstocked and up to our necks in cock rings. At Cock Ring Warehouse, we've got the largest selection of new and used cock rings in the tri-state area. Over 3 miles of cock rings. Stainless steel, bronze, leather, mahogany, sandalwood, and even stained glass. And all the latest styles, including the Dillinger, Pheasant Under Glass, the Brat, and Old Ironsides. So follow this little guy. To Route 59, just south of Santa's Village for cock rings, cock rings, cock rings. And this season, remember the poor. Dust off your old cock rings, and Cock Ring Warehouse will pass them on to needy families at no cost.
You know what I mean? Where I'm at. So kind of, it feels like I have two of them. One on my left leg and one on my right leg. But anyway, you know how it is over here, Derek, and this matrix, and then the difference over there. I've been here already long enough, and obviously I got to see things exactly in a perspective, on a helio perspective. But also to be honest with you, in the helio, I was also truthing. I did, before coming into this community, I was actually truthing and seeing things that, you know, that doesn't seem right here. Hell, no way to be right. So, you know, after you know, truthing, and after 2012, thinking like, hey, it's not going to be the end of the world. You know, spirituality is at its newest. You know, the whole new concept just came in. I've been flattened down. You know what I mean? And now I have I have a cause. It's now I see myself at this point where I really know where I'm at right now, kind of, you know, because based on what they've handed to us, it's already handed to us. We already know exactly what the impression's supposed to be. Already now it's the point where now I know it's not to be, and I'm there to search, really, you know, explore, become that, you know, go into an expedition, see things that what I think could be, what I should feel it should be mysterious, because I'm finding mysterious ways things are already here.
Yeah.
So,
do you smoke crack?
What's that?
Crack.
Ass crack. No.
Would you say smoke crack?
No crack. No.
God, that's a ghetto drug. Like, drugs are cool, but at least do some classy ones. Jesus.
Well, hold on for a second. P, I mean, for myself, when I mentioned flora, I am 100% plant-based organic. So if
Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
if it is going to be crack, that's completely synthesized. It is Heisenberg. It's actually chemical cocktail based. I don't take Tylenol. I don't take Advil.
Good for you, buddy.
And I will go to the 2 days to get sick and feel better the third day. You know, it is what it is. I'll go through all the pains and sufferings, what I do for. So
totally agree with you. I do exactly the same, and I rock out with my cock out.
Yeah, I mean, if here's the thing too. When you feel like you're in pain, you have that self motivation. What the hell I'm going to do to fix myself? Automatically, and you'll be doing all kinds of techniques and whatsoever that you're going to do to make yourself feel better. And the first thing that came to my mind is actually, don't take anything. The body will fix itself, you know, naturally, normally.
And what always helps is don't be a fucking faggot. Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
I hear people.
Well, let me ask you guys.
It's cold. Of course, it's fucking cold if you keep mentioning it every 2 minutes. Just shut the fuck up and get on with it, or put a jacket on. If you don't have a jacket, then you can't do anything. Then wine's not going to bring anything.
Let me ask you two guys that are quite versed in this stuff, and I'm with you. I mean, if I get sick, the bug, the flu, it's maybe 6 hours at the most, so I have a pretty good immune system, whatever you want to call it. But I do on occasion suffer from massive migraines, and I have to pop some Advil. Like, I'm crying like a bitch.
Yeah. It's very easy. You've been going through house cleaning every day. You're a gas pressure with the container. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, when you have a migraine, you have pressure, and the only way to release pressure, we learned entropy, is to actually have your wife focus on the knots on your back to release the pressure immediately. But it won't be totality, but it'll be immediately. So these are the methods that when you have migraines, you're gonna go through all the stuff, and then when you find it, it'll be for the migraines. It's gonna be somewhere in the back, and the best remedy is a glass Snapple bottle. Put it in the back here, put it in the back of the neck, put it in the back of the shoulder blade. and you roll it in the back, somewhere in a chair, somewhere in the bed, somewhere in a pillow, and it's gonna find that little lump, and then you just gnaw it out. And then when you gnaw it out, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna pop somewhere in the sinus. Poof.
Yeah, I've got some acupressure knowledge. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an acupressurist, but I've got some basic knowledge, and I can usually do that and just sit in the shower, like just the water falling.
The water feels good, don't it? Yeah.
It does, just hitting your whole hitting some pressure points. But there's a few times, at least maybe once a year,
migraine up to wazoo, and actually you're gonna be an EMP pulse, and all of a sudden you knock out the friggin' electrical grid, which I've done it. I know what you're talking about.
I don't have a wife to rub my back, so when I get stressed out, I smoke crack.
Oh,
see, this is why you don't want to end up like Jim. Don't listen to. I mean, I love Jim, but this whole anti-woman, anti-children, dude, you're gonna end up miserable.
Oh,
you too, Unarim. Sorry.
You don't want to pee on that crack, man. I'm serious, P. But I mean, at this stage right now, here's the thing: as far as not taking anything, as far as medicine, on a positive note, getting sick and getting the temperature, I've noticed that within the 2-3 days, there's a wonderful drip that I do get. It's called a delirium. And this delirium is like it happens. It'll be 4 hours. I was like, oh my God, I know what it is. It feels great. I could bear the temperature. I'm all right. I don't have anything, stuck in my scratch in my throat. I have, I just feel sick to a point where this delirium, I'm out of sync of my body, or I'm outside of my body, not inside my body. I'm inside my body. I'm outside. That is the delirium I get, and times where I know that I'm actually in a car, I can't even drive. I'm like, it feels drunk, but I know I'm sick, but it's bearable. I have a slight temperature. I don't have a cough. I don't have a sore throat. I just feel sick. So, but I'm knowingly it's going to be about 4 hours. So this delirium is natural, and this is what I've learned by just getting sick. And it's just one of the pleasurable thing I was able to experience, just not having to take any crack.
So are you married? Is your wife Filipino or something? Is that why you're going, or are you just going for?
Well, she's one of my ball and chain.
Your ball.
So
okay.
I'm looking for.
I get it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm at the stage right now, Eric. So I mean, since again I'm this lonely path, and obviously we're in the different timelines, maybe, and I may have picked something up, or I may have learned something, but I've been involved with my wife for about 25 years, to a point where everything is very open. So, meaning to a point where I could joke with my wife and say, hey, I'd like to have a downstairs wife, and my wife would say, okay, as long as I don't have to do the sex. Agreed.
Yeah. So she's
done. Simple.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the one downside to Asian women, or maybe it's a good side. Jim would probably say it's good, but typically Asian women, once they get the kid or two, it's like you're done with the sex thing. And
that's it. That's right. I know. And then the only thing about here's the one thing as far as Asian women, it's they're a oner and stuff like that. I'm a multiplier.
Yeah.
I'm into multiplicity. I mean, I don't know, something in my drive, like going to Morocco is a good thing. You know what I mean? Wow. I don't want I mean, I'm at the stage right now. I want to see, I mean, women. I mean, like, what am I missing? There's a beauty to it. There's, their personality, what they've learned, what they look. It's aside from like all the stuff. I don't want to hear the conversations with the TV and all that stuff, or I don't want to hear like Melrose or like or what the conversations at work. Something real, that type of thing. And I think being at a place where, not here, but other places, maybe I can get those conversations. I may be able to get them. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. It is this lonely path, obviously. No problem. I could be with like 100 with my mother, my father, my brothers and sisters, and I'll still feel like I'm in this lonely path. So, I'm just being honest with you. And basically, while I'm here, I'm actually exploring. So, I'd like more new things. I'm now at a point where I'm at a stopping point So I'm kind of bored. So that's why I like to troll around. But you know, fun. I like to troll fun things. So really, I am a troll. Happy to be.
Yeah. I mean, Jim has a valid point about marriage and being with a woman and having a family, but to me, it's just a stage in this ride. I mean, if you let it trap you, then well, that's your fault, you know, as an individual. But I don't regret that I got married and had a child, and why would I regret it? That's the past, and maybe it's today, but maybe it won't be that scenario tomorrow. So it's just a journey. I don't know.
Well, they said, I guess you could fall in love like so many times, and you always meet like, always the right women all the time. So it's either, you know, being patient and it's magnetically they come right to you. You build your sphere, and it works. You know, it really works. You build that sphere. I hate to say that word, but I mean, it's the sphere is like a little bubble around me, and that's what I see.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that's my philosophy, and that's where I'm at. So, yeah, I mean, like, so that with a community like this is where I when you see me jump into forums or in chat, I'm actually I like to gather information, real good information. I've been around already. I've heard all this stuff already. You know, I want to go beyond that.
And that's why I still like being mobile, and this map that we have that we're all, you know, Asia, North America, Europe. I like moving around. It's very healthy, in my opinion.
True. I mean, also I like meeting people too. I mean, and the
You mean in the real world, not just on this bullshit?
Hold on, Matthew, I'll take it over here. Thanks. Drop it here.
Seem like good people.
You too. Merry New Year. All right.
Jesus, what the fuck?
All right. Go check it out. I got a bill, and the bill is coming from Global Lending.
Oh God!
Really?
Trash it.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that. What else? I got a whole bunch of bills. Like,
aren't you lucky?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's funny, Pete? This should be evidence. You don't even need the science to figure out you don't live on a globe. Look at all the scam agencies and the scam. They always have a globe. Like you could just like Global Lending. What is that company?
Well, actually, you know it's flat because they're censoring it. You know, there's no need to censor the truth.
Well, it's a one-way highway. That's how I see it, and that's it. It's a model with an instructions.
I mean, all these Indian scammer companies and these phone, like, it's funny if you look up their registered name, they're global this or global. It's just the globe is just gay. It's just dumb. It's ugly. It's dumb. Don't even need to talk. It's just dumb. I don't care about the science of it. It's dumb. Just absolutely ridiculous at this stage in life. Just a dumb. Space is dumb. Mars is dumb. Like, why would you want to go to Mars?
Who said space was gay?
It is, yeah, it's gay. It's just gay. Like, just think about it. If space is true, like they say, who the fuck would want to even go there? It's not cool.
Yeah, it is. You get to exit the ISS, take 4 hours to get about 30 yards to pull a double-bladed trench knife and dig a hole in the Soyuz capsule, just to leave it open, go back and land 2 days later. Fucking science, boy, you just don't get it.
I'm more impressed with some Cambodian farmer that grows rice, and you know he's using real science. That shit they do on the ISS, supposedly, that's just gay and dumb.
Well, speaking about gay and dumb, I mean, as far as the ISS, did you see exactly how they actually used the toilet?
No, I don't even want to know.
Okay.
with the pipes, you mean?
Correct. And then the only thing is that just.
And they got a woman to explain it, which was the worst.
Well, here's the thing that would really make sense as far as with the ISS and doing like recyclable and reusing it is to have an actual glory hole. Use the space vacuum to do the number one. The glory hole is perfect because the space vacuum will suck it out and clean everything up perfectly. But anyway, just imagine for just the conditions of just even going to the bathroom is funny already. I hate to be funny in that sense, but really in the
Yeah, no.
In that kind of medium, and to exist in that specific medium, natural.
No, you're totally right. It's the same with the hairs and the skin particles. You know, it would have to be this dirty, ratty box. 20 years of just things floating off people's bodies.
Skin cells and hair follicles.
No. It has a vacuum outside. All they do is they put a hose to the vacuum and they vacuum it all up.
That's
My bad.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine if what would a girl do with that? Would she put it where we use it with her? How would she use it?
She does actually explain it like that. There's a clip where that horrible haired, ugly Ruta explains how she uses the bathroom.
Oh,
and
man.
It's got kind of, I think it's like a bit triangular. It looks a bit like one of those things you would hold over someone's mouth to give them oxygen or something. I think it looks a bit like that. And you hold it to your schlong. And then the next guy comes and he rubs his schlong against where you rubbed your schlong, and it's all classy.
Listen, I'm not.
Disgusting.
Your mic sucks again, Jim. Your mic sucks. No, sucks. Oh, it does.
No, man, straight to the point, yeah.
All right, we'll wait for him to sort it out. But, there he is. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the reason why we're being funny and the reason why it doesn't make sense, that it's telling us that there's something is up with the medium itself. We're not actually identifying really what that medium really is and what can exist in that specific medium. So, well, I mean,
Jim's mic sucks, so he should put it on his dick.
That's funny, people.
Yeah, let the other head start talking.
Well, guys, listen. I'm at a point, and I'm not really joking. Like, I'm dead serious. I actually, part of me really hopes space and planets are real, so I can just laugh and ridicule people that even think it's cool to go there. It's the dumbest thing. It's not cool. It doesn't sound smart. It sounds like P. Mars, who lives in North Dakota, thinking he wants to take a vacation to Siberia in the middle of February. Like that, it's dumb. The whole thing is dumb and useless. I hope it's real. I want to laugh at people for actually going there.
Oh, just to make it. Well, I mean, the only thing is just sell more. We can actually sell more properties or buy the properties to them and live this fictional society. It's not too hard to play the game. Mm-hmm. If it's fiction, it's so easy. I mean, it's so easy to write the tide. And the way how fiction works is that it's based on belief. So therefore, to make it real on the moon property, heck, what I'm gonna do, Eric, I'm gonna sell you XY. I'm gonna sell you this lot at this specific location for $5, Eric. Okay, and then you know what? You can agree with that. Okay, no problem. Then we're gonna draw up a contract. We're gonna draw up a contract, and you and I are gonna sign it, and we're gonna get it even notarized and witnessed. I'll even be motivated. I'm gonna take that contract and I'm gonna record it.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If I offered you a paid vacation to go to either the red planet, Mars, and live in a dome, or would you rather go to the rainforest of Brazil, do some hiking and rafting, and do some ayahuasca and hang out with shit? Which one would you take?
Hell yeah, number two. Slam. Yeah. I mean, flat smack too. I didn't have to think about that one.
No, I mean, just really the whole idea of going to another shitty planet through space is just pure retardation.
You just don't get science.
You would not put me in a crotch rocket in which is a ballistic missile, filled with helium, and that's all it needs for propulsion. That's you know what I mean. That's what there is no such thing as the fuel, really. It is right now since the 1960s. My gosh, my friend, we're talking about the technology at its best. With fuel is. It's almost a fucking hoax, man. That's how much we are fucking being lied to.
I think they use this.
I'm laughing. Oh my god! But okay, sorry.
I think they use this narrative of colonizing Mars just to see how much of a shitty reality people are willing to think is cool. Like the
they're
idea.
going to fake Mars. They're going to fake Mars. They've probably already got somewhere on Antarctica or somewhere. They've got a big brother set with fake Mars, because you can't go out on Mars. You can't.
I want to know if P. Mars would think it's cool, and would he volunteer to go to Mars? Like really? Would you sign up for that, Patrick?
You could be the first poker champion of Mars.
I mean, he likes sitting in front of in his room all the time anyway. So
I don't like going on an airplane, so probably no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. So yeah, I'll be going on that pretty soon.
So how are you going to prove space then?
Books.
Or are you not going to do that? Oh yeah, I forgot about books.
Books.
You can see it with a telescope.
What do you see? You see it.
I love you, P.
What? Am I wrong?
No, it's all good. No, it's great, man. Love you, brother.
P. Mars, like when you go to a foreign country, there's like you see a bunch of things. It looks like food, but you don't know what it is, what it's made of, what's inside of it. So if you see something, it means you know what it is. Really? Seriously? You definitely need to get out and travel more, bro, and get a girl.
Can I ask you something, P? How often have you used the telescope?
Never.
Ah.
Imagine my lack of surprise.
That's good. That's good. No, I totally get that. When people say it's just a P900, well, Galileo Galilei only had a fucking piece of leather with 2 or 3 lenses, so I'm not quite sure how he managed to plot out the whole fucking thing.
He proved that we were heliocentric. Yeah, he proved that we were heliocentric with this telescope because he observed that Venus went through cycles like the moon.
Okay, wait. So he observed Venus, which is what exactly?
A planet.
you know, Pete, every time you call me stupid, my heart giggles.
Whenever I called you stupid, I guess was it?
Yep.
Here's what
I said flat Earth is stupid. I don't know if did I say you are stupid.
Come on, P. Mars. You got to admit I'll agree. A lot of flat Earth idea. There's a lot of stupidity, but come on, bro. The ball is way dumber, and space is just dumber.
Yeah, it is.
More dumber.
Yeah, it is. It's more dumber.
Dumber by far.
I'm not joking with you. I mean, really. I mean, I'm not one of these Nathan Oakley flat earthers, but man, the space and the planet shit is just fucking dumb. It's the most ludicrous thing.
I think it's more ludicrous to laugh at people that observe things in the sky with telescopes.
You've never fucking observed it. You just admitted that you've never observed shit in the sky through a telescope, and you're telling other people to do it because it proves it.
I didn't tell anyone
Which, first of all, it doesn't. That doesn't.
Yeah, you did.
Go stand in a church and look at the ceiling. It's a dome. Does that mean the ground's a fucking dome? Don't be silly, boy.
We all know we know P. Mars is not a NASA fanboy. He doesn't really know the own science. I think he pretends he's a baller, just because he can.
Yeah, I'm not a science person. No, I mean the ball Earth makes sense to me, and the shit you guys say seems like nonsense. So.
What? That we're standing on a flat thing and not moving? What do you mean? What claim? P. Mars, come on. You really walk out your door, I know it's on a rare occasion, and you see a curve and movement, and come on, P. Mars.
I see a curve. You're not supposed to feel motion. But I definitely feel gravity.
But you don't.
You feel gravity. You feel gravity.
How come you want to talk? We can't feel motion, but we can feel gravity. But you never mention how you can feel gravity. You just want to deny gravity because you're ridiculous. You're a ridiculous human being.
Do you feel like there's something touching the top of your head? Does it hurt, Pete?
Yeah, your arms growing because they're being sucked against the ball. I mean, just think about how silly that is.
Does something inside of you make you feel like your guts are being pulled through your anus or something when you're walking along? I mean, what do you mean you feel gravity?
You guys are trying to bully me into thinking something silly that's not silly. I don't understand it. You're all gaslighting me.
No, we're not.
You are. I don't want to be a part of your cult.
We need you to be the leader.
The right time is the right time.
We need a poster boy face for this movement.
I don't. If you guys are gonna create a movement, then I'm out of here.
Yeah, we are.
That's just my personal choice, though. You're free to do so, but movements and I don't jive.
You scared?
I don't know what it is. Don't know why. So,
do you know how fast the Earth would have to be spinning at the equator to fling people off it?
1 mile an hour.
No, do you?
Yeah, 4,000 miles per hour.
Oh.
Says who? That can't be right. Because if a rocket needs to reach 25,020 miles per hour to exit.
Well, we all better hope that Superman never comes to Earth and starts flying around the globe to make it spin faster, because he can just wipe out all life on Earth, I guess. Huh?
It only goes 1,000 miles per hour.
So, but if Superman ever came here and started flying around, making it go faster, he could end life on Earth? Is that what you're saying? Because science.
Yeah, I'm citing the law. The law of Superman.
Okay.
Isaac Newton's fundamental laws of Superman.
So is it true though? If we could start spinning the Earth backwards, we'd go back in time, like Superman did, according to science.
Yes, that's true. That movie is based off of official science.
That is so retarded. Don't they also say that if you got far enough away from Earth, but looked at Earth with a telescope, you'd see the past?
Yeah, dinosaurs for sure. Because,
Excuse me, gentlemen. I just came in to nominate Eric as the leader of the movement. Thank you.
I'm out of here. I'm going to last for 10 seconds. How's he hearing it? It's not being... Are you broadcasting?
He is.
I'm broadcasting.
Cool. Burp. So, yeah.
He's trying to put out content.
I remember asking that question, no joke. When they're telling me you're seeing stars that probably don't exist and they died millions of years ago. What? Seriously. Pete, come on, be honest. Doesn't this modern heliocentric science stuff sound a bit ridiculous to you? Even some of it? Just some of it?
You sound ridiculous to me, but no, it doesn't sound ridiculous to me.
Okay. I think you're faking.
No, it's just trying to have fun here with Shane Rushton and Mr. Grim. Ah, dear P.
So let's see what comments. So this is on your channel now, P?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I actually retract my light.
P-Mar. Why do you have this Han Solo Empire Strikes Back clothes on?
It's Darth Vader.
So how come you're not at your mother's, P?
Huh?
It's Christmas. How come you're not at your mother's? It's Christmas.
She passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good. I'm gonna go to my dad's tomorrow.
Hey, I agree with Shane. Exploration is stupid. I agree. It's gay also. Who the hell wants to explore? It's fucking gay. Just fucking be happy where you are.
Actually, I think there's some truth to that. I think people will travel places to find happiness, but...
And they don't. Because you know why? Like the old saying goes, no matter where you go, there you are. It's stupid, but it is true.
Yeah, you have to be happy where you're at. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be happy anywhere, I think.
I like being content. This whole happiness and negativity and being happy and overly... Whatever. Why does nobody just say being content? And I hate to sound religious, but you know, grateful. Like I am. I try to be grateful. I know. I've seen people eating garbage in the streets. I'm grateful for the shit I have. I really am.
That's funny because Bertrand Russell talks about the mentality they want to have in their the slave class, and they say that contentment is the most important attribute because they want us to be content in our situation and not, rise up and fight back, I guess.
Well, that's why the Bible teaches to turn the other cheek. They want a bunch of pussies.
I mean, that's just what he wrote in the book. I don't know.
No, but you know what? He should have. You know what? I'd like to expand on that because that makes sense, and I can see. But is he talking about collective contempt?
I'll read it real quick.
But is he I want to know if he's talking about an individual actually being content with their own.
Pete, if you get an address to me, I'll send you a book to read. Promise.
You guys would probably be interested in this quote. He says, this is Bertrand Russell, The Scientific Outlook, 1931, and he's talking about the scientific dictatorship. And he says, in like manner, the scientific rulers will provide one kind of education for ordinary men and women, and another for those who are to become holders of scientific power. That's like the new priest class. And he says, ordinary men and women will be expected to be docile, industrious, punctual, thoughtless, and contented. Of these qualities, probably contentment will be considered the most important. And then he says that all these researchers in psychoanalysis, behaviorism, and biochemistry will be brought into play to basically brainwash people to do what everyone else is doing, and basically.
Yeah. So he is talking about a collective set of people. And I think he's talking about being content with the status quo or society or the culture and all that. I'm not content with any of that.
I think he's talking about how they will the qualities they will want in the peasant class, and then they'll indoctrinate us to have these qualities through stuff like education and the entertainment industry.
Right, and even what you said is still, you said class, and you're talking about this idea of collectivism. When I say I'm content, I'm content with myself. Who I am.
I wasn't really trying to bash you or anything. I just thought that. I think that's kind of interesting. That what that guy.
Come on, let's fact bash Eric.
You can try.
Because I think contentment is a good quality to have ultimately, but I guess it could be considered a bad quality if you were brainwashed to be content with the situation that you shouldn't be content with. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Totally agree with that, man.
So do I.
But I think it's good to be able. I think being, preparing for survival, you should be humble and learn to deal with not having so much.
Well, put it this way: I'm pretty much, definitely not 100%, but I'm pretty comfortable that I'm content with myself, who and what I am. But I'm definitely very far from content with the things around me, whatever you want to call it, the culture, the system, the matrix.
We're not content with you.
Okay.
Who's that?
Oh, that was Jim. Fucker. Well, you don't need to be.
But that's the whole idea of making weed all legal and giving it to everyone, so you're all good little content little slaves, so we can fuck you up even more. You'll love it.
I agree
if you just
with
get
that.
high.
That could very well be.
They're definitely not legalizing it because they love us.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, it still works for me.
That's what they all say.
So what are you up to, Jim?
I did 2 DoorDash. I did 2 chicken filet. Now I'm back at Chick-fil-A
Get
with
that
my
extra
3 order.
Did you get the extra $1 per dash?
Nope. That was yesterday when I got no dashes. Today, no extra $1, so I get 2 dash.
Uh-oh.
I go into
Everyday
Chick-fil-A. I
hustle.
talk like this. They think it's funny. I say, I would DoorDash. They say, my pleasure.
Yeah. Good times, eh?
You're a good delivery boy.
A good delivery boy. Yes, I am. I make a fried rice. I deliver. I deliver for you.
Maybe you can bring P something.
I bring quick to you. You no tip me? I don't need no tip. I like you no tip me.
I used to deliver pizza. That was my favorite job because I wouldn't have to deal with people except for when I answered phones in the store. But
I need to get a job with the pizza delivery company because they'd pay more than I get at DoorDash.
You're pretty much on the road the whole time, and then you just show up to a guy's house. You hand him the pizza.
That's what you are with DoorDash.
He gives you the money, and like they don't chit chat, right? So they just want to eat. And I just sit in my car and like would smoke, listen to music or talk radio
or hangouts.
Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, God.
So, Unaram.
What?
No friends and family? No eggnog with alcohol in it on Christmas Eve there in Deutschland?
Nah. It's not how I roll, man. I did a video. It's uploading as we speak. But nah. I'm gonna head out later. Go to the club, smarty party. But
You're gonna rave on? You're gonna rave? Do some acts?
Oh yeah, sure. Go pack my wonderful divine body right in front of the loudspeaker and just give it some BPM straight to the beard.
What sort of DJ? Drum and bass? Dubstep?
No, where I'm going tonight, I don't actually know. I haven't looked who's playing, but I don't care. It's Christmas time. Not a lot, but a few people that left here, you know, they come back for Christmas, and because most of them aren't the big family people, so 24th is always kind of a meetup in the club.
I'm a tad bit pissed off at my wife and daughter. They're sitting in freaking Phuket right now, and I'm here in this fucking snow. Fucking, that's the kind of wife I have.
Phuket, dude.
Maybe if you were nicer.
Phuket, dude.
Yeah, by the way, it's Phuket. I hear a lot of people when they say that that one flat earther, they call it fuck it word, or no, it's Phuket. It's not fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it world.
P-H-U-E-T.
It doesn't say world, it says word.
I said word. It's my fucking word.
Smart.
Okay, and I say coffee, okay? So get fucked.
Fuck the world.
I say planet, so sue me.
I don't mind when people, it's funny how flat earthers, if one of us says planet, they get all, planet, universe.
Do you guys believe in Planet Fitness?
What do you mean believe in?
I don't know. It's just a light, right?
Are you talking about the health club?
It's just a light on the horizon. Planet
It's
Fitness.
a health club brand here in U.S. or U.S. and Canada. I don't know. It's a health club brand.
Hey, are you back at the party you were yesterday?
I didn't.
It wasn't a
I
party,
didn't do
it was
any
a
of the
crack
crap.
house.
I smoked some funny grass and I drank some vodka. That's all. I didn't partake in any of the crack.
So, dude, you were seriously at a party where people were fucking doing crack. Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? You got to get some class.
In a trailer park.
Yeah. It's all these Glover parties, you know, always escalates.
No one invites me to anywhere unless it's a fucking trailer park cracked in.
Glover tranny party.
Dude, you know,
I don't have any friends.
I find the best people live in trailer parks.
Some. Also, some of the worst.
I used to live in a trailer park in Vegas. No air conditioning.
But isn't that the story of how America's all set up? I remember a European friend of mine. I was an Egyptian. No, he was Egyptian. He lived in New York for a while.
What was he now, Eric? Quit fucking lying.
Well, I'm just saying, he was an expat. So, you know, we're all expats when you live in Asia. You just kind of mix together. So, no, he's an Egyptian, but he lived in New York for a while. But he was explaining to a Chinese girl about America that said America has some of the like greatest people, you know, really creative and that, but also at the same exact time, some of the most fucked up people on this planet. And I think that was pretty much it summed up America. Some really great people, great minds, creative artists, but probably some of the most fucked up people too.
Like the cops and the judges and the doctors.
I feel like the bigger the city, the more fucked up the people in the city. Because the city...
Well, America's a land of contrast for sure. I mean, especially compared to Europe, where everything's kind of like, you know, cultural, big open-air museum, and oh, look at the nice architecture, and the good foods, and the chocolates. And
they've done studies on rats, right? Where if you get a bunch of rats in close proximity, they develop psychoses and they'll start cannibalizing each other. And I think this similar thing happens with humans when you have them all living in a big city. They get a bunch of mental health issues, and that's... I think the better communities are out in the country. Smaller communities is where it's at.
I don't know. There's pluses and minuses to the rural and the cities. Yeah, I like food. So big cities are good for that, and I like, unlike you and Jim there, I like meeting people.
Yeah, but in the rural area, you can get fresh shit off the farm. That's pretty good food too.
Yeah, but I like ethnic food. I like curries and Turkish food and
lots of dead animals.
Yeah.
No, Jim, not that much. A lot of dead fish though.
That is the one benefit from a big city. They have awesome food.
Oh, well, fish aren't animals.
Wait, I got to call out the two vegans here for something. So Jim always says eating dead animals. So I don't really, if I don't eat dead animals, if I eat just fish, am I a vegan?
Same thing.
Are fish animals?
Now it's the same. Okay.
Yeah, anything that's got eyes, yeah, except a potato.
Okay, so anything that's got eyes. So it's cool if I eat...
Except a potato.
Green lip mussels, oysters, clams?
It's all life.
Oh, it's life. So you eat dirt.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't eat plants. So you don't eat life.
I think as long as you take life in a respectful manner, there's
I agree with that.
Death is a part of life.
If there were, you know, I mean, I'm not against eating meat if you do your own meat and shit. Nothing wrong with that.
Even if you eat plants,
treat the animal the way you should.
You're taking a life when you eat plants too. So.
No, because you don't have to kill them. You can actually just harvest them without killing them.
Who are you to say you're not killing a plant when you rip it out from its roots?
Well, you don't. A lot of them you don't actually have to rip out. Like a salad, if you remove only half of the salad head, it will grow back. So you're not killing it. You're just harvesting it. Apples, you don't kill the tree to get to an apple.
Can I just remind you of one thing? If you're a vegan and you're growing a garden, you know, you have to till it and do stuff to replant. So, you know, there's lots of like worms and stuff. Like you're fucking up, you know, you're killing worms, like growing.
No, you're not. You're actually using them.
You're killing bacteria when you wash your hands and brush your teeth.
I'm just putting it out there. Listen, I'm not trying. I respect vegans. I just think it's a tough question, and I don't have the answers for the whole dietary, moral thing. But I do think it's a very interesting topic. Very interesting. Probably one of the top few, I would say. But I don't know. I can't come to an absolute conclusion about the whole thing. That's kind of where I'm at. I think P Mars gets that kind of as well too.
You can't ever come to an absolute conclusion about anything, though.
I think a general rule should be every human being should actually have more knowledge of what's going on with the food. Like if you want to eat a steak, you know, I've challenged people who love beef. I said, just go to a beef slaughterhouse and then have a steak a couple hours later. I dare you. You know, I like when I go fishing and I catch a fish. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm taking it out of its medium and basically suffocating it, and then I kill it and gut it and cook it. I do that.
I think cooking a meal well is a way to show the respect for the animal that gave its life.
Like I'm 100% with Jim on the whole factory farming stuff. I mean, it's just it's atrocious. It's shameful. It's
yeah.
I say being vegan is a cult.
Well, it's a part of Agenda 21.
It's a cult.
They're gonna
vegan.
A cult?
In the past, they didn't let the peasants eat meat. They made it was only available for the upper class to eat meat in the past, and they want to go back to that scenario. So with Agenda 21, they one of their goals is to get it to where we can't afford to eat meat, and they're gonna.
And you can easily prove that. You can prove that if you go to a place like go to China and go to a new city. Like most people, no, really. Like my wife.
True, they're gonna do like some climate change reason for it, like some tax.
I hate to say it, PMARS and vegans may not want to hear it, but what PMARS is suggesting, there is something to it, and it's pretty. Like go to China, like right now in this day and age, and most people you'll meet that are like 30 plus years old, you know. They barely had meat, but now, if you go to a place like Shanghai, Chinese people are getting fat. Like, you know, there's a quote middle class and things like what's a big chain over there? Brazil Steakhouse, and you know, Americans. I mean, it's huge. I mean, Chinese are really eating meat a lot now. It's relatively new, very new, like 10, 15 years.
Meat.
And you think the vegans are the one that's sort of been manipulated with an agenda when you just explained that people that didn't used to eat meat are actually now eating shit that clearly isn't really meant for them.
Well, it's funny because now that they're eating more meat, they're also getting fatter and more consumer oriented. You know, they love the iPhone and video games. So, yeah, I mean, it's two sides of it.
I could put up some pounds, you know. I encourage everybody to eat more chicken, pork, beef, you know, all the good stuff. Yeah, please.
Latinos, they eat everything, man. They eat the brains and the pig ear and what's that?
Hey, yeah.
I remember when I was in Brazil, everyone said, you got to try this famous stew called feijoada, which is basically a bunch of vegetables, potatoes, and fucking pig ears in there. I was like, what's this tough stuff? I thought it was like
good stuff, yeah. Cuajito. Yeah, pig ears.
God, sorry, bro. I don't like red meat. Never have. So but
the best.
I'll eat birds and I'll eat fish.
Faggot.
What? I'm a fucking vegan faggot. Soy boy.
Come get some.
Pig ears.
Ask your gorilla, man.
Hey, yummy.
His,
Choco gets it.
No, I don't really eat pig ears though.
But if you get a bowl in front of you, you give it a little whiff and you start chewing in the tough little cartilage thing, and it tastes good, man. Yeah.
No, listen.
I don't know.
Listen.
Maybe if I don't know what it is.
Dude, I promise Jose and chocolate. And I'm objective, you know, I'm not a vegan, but I guarantee if you gave up, especially beef, for just a year or two, if you walked into somebody's home cooking a steak, you would get nauseous. I guarantee it.
I don't know, man.
Just have you done it? Have you ever?
I will no.
Here? No.
I don't think I'm gonna give it a try. Thank you for the offer.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, bro.
No, I imagine you might be right, but
you're saying that chocolate is chocolate's Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I don't eat.
You're saying
like
Super Saiyan.
I don't eat a whole lot of red meat like that. Mostly I eat, chicken and shit.
Oh, it's because you're black. Fried chicken.
Yeah.
I had to
give me that chicken.
You walked in down with chocolate.
It's a good experience, man. Listen to this. My uncle, my uncle in Puerto Rico, he used to raise porks, and that was the big boost in his economy for Christmas, because that's the Christmas dinner is pork in Puerto Rico. That's the Christmas meat.
Oh, Puerto Rico.
I used to stay over there, and I used to help him. When people go to say, I want that pork right there, 150-pound pork, like medium size. Oh, we used to get it, and we used to do the whole thing for freaking stabbing him in the neck. And my uncle was good. When he stabbed it in the neck, he hit the heart, and that shot of blood kept coming out. And my job was just to grab the blood with a freaking pot, because then with the intestines pulling it out, flipping it over and cleaning it up, that's the blood sausage, with the actual blood. And doing the whole thing, I'm like the whole shenanigans, bro. And I was there hands-on and peeling and taking the hairs out, taking the nails out. And it was really good experience, bro. It's nature, like one-on-one. It was the most beautiful experience, and I miss it big time, bro.
You see how biased I am? Like, he talks about that, and it disgusts me, but then I can do it to a fish and have no problem. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, because you're a hypocrite. It's just like when people say they like animals, but they eat meat. How can you like animals and eat meat? You like pets.
Wait. But are fish
animals? Yourself. Don't talk shit.
Do you like fish?
In the water, yeah. I used to scuba dive. Love fish. Think it really sad that so many sharks and dolphins and whales actually get caught in the nets just so that some dumb fucker can put tuna-fish on his pizza. Yeah.
I know. Listen,
I'm not trying to, I'm just speaking my truth.
No, listen. I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about this whole vegan thing for a number of years. Vegetarian.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, because you keep calling me the vegan, although you know that I've only been vegan for, full vegan, not even a year.
Yeah. I'm just.
So,
dolphins, yeah, I would never want to eat a dolphin or even a whale. Like, get the oil, the fucking stupid gook Japanese killing the whales. That's just dumb. Like, why would you want to kill a whale? What the fuck is with that shit?
Shout out to Shurumi in the chat. Boom, Shurumi, boom, boom.
What's also ironic is probably a lot of meat eaters are very comfortable with that, but we've had a few decades now where it's like, fur is bad. Like, if you wear fur, that's bad, but then I'll go eat a steak. So it's funny how, there's so much hypocrisy everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I try not to be a hypocrite, and that's why I'm not, I'm not judging, I just speak my truth.
Yeah, I don't like liking burgers, but I like burgers.
Shout out to Nathan Oakley in the chat. Nathan Oakley, shout out.
I used to, I still do love burgers, but I don't have meat patties anymore. But that's the thing, though, once you actually do...
you do like a veggie burger now?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done burgers at home
you guys
since...
are at?
Pardon?
What do they do? Like, you say you still eat burgers?
Yeah, just not with meat. I mean, the burger place here in town, the best one you can go to, they have 2 complete vegan ones. Then they have one with cheese only, halloumi, which would be a vegetarian alternative. You get loads of stuff. When I was in Berlin, they have so many cool places that sell vegan. It's absolutely.
What do you think about PR's thing, though? Is there any? Do you think there might be some truth in the idea?
Well, he can't telescope.
Huh?
He admitted that. He admitted he can't telescope for one.
Well, no. I'm just talking about the whole kind of, because, you know, I've also, who the fuck is walking through my yard? Oh, the mailman. Get the fuck off my property, bitch. Shoot him?
No.
Get the shotgun out. No, but like I've noticed a trend, like veganism, but also have you noticed the trend? Maybe not. Well, probably P. Mars has like these tiny homes where people can kind of build these little. You know what I'm talking about, Patrick? Look at tiny homes that you can put on the back of your car, and it's got like a little loft, and so it seems like they're just wanting the masses to deal with less, while the fucking fat cats have everything.
So when they went through World War II, people made all these sacrifices in the way they lived their lives to support the war effort, right? They were testing people's psychology and behavior during this time. They want to engineer a society where we'll live in conditions as if we were at war and live with like less and less. Yeah, it's called austerity. So yeah, that's
look at the Japan. Now they have them in New York, and I'm sure they're in Berlin with these capsule hotels where you go to some big faggot city and you fucking sleep in a shoebox, and you probably still pay like $150 or something. It's like you know these capsule hotels. That's another one. You familiar?
Eric, you've been called out in the chat. People saying you're telling lies again. Yes, shout out to Timmy Osman in the chat too. It wasn't him that said that. Somebody else.
Ronnie.
Seaside said that.
Ronnie. Seaside Ronnie.
Oh, I don't see him anymore.
There. Ronnie, hey, I wanted you to send me an email about like how you're going to stop my hate speech in China.
Aristarchus. I'm telling you, Aristarchus is going to stop fucking hate speech.
Seaside, come on. I've been asking for you. I want to see your email.
Eric, why don't you just invite him over to China, bro? Like, I can have dinner over in China.
I wouldn't want to do that. I don't think he'd make it back home.
He's your best friend, man. And now that Jim's not here, he's found you. I'm sure he's very happy.
Come on, Ronnie. How are you going to stop my hate speech? You know, in Asia, there's no such thing as hate speech. They laugh at us in the West.
Hate is a conspiracy.
Exactly.
Last time I checked, hate's a human emotion. It's natural, just like love, joy, sorrow, disdain.
Michael Sarian, I remember, talked about that, how they kind of brainwash us to think hate is bad, but hate's not bad, it's just misdirected hate is bad. Like, if you direct your hate at an appropriate target, then, you know, it's like, there's a reason you have that emotion. It's there built into you for a reason, right? So
Pete Shea pays me.
Did you read that in the book?
To troll Eric, the wife beater.
No, I said Michael Sarian said that. I mean, Michael Sarian is not
Michael Sarian. I like him.
He's
like both, as I said, Pete.
He's a bull. Get
an address to me.
He's a bull. Michael Sarian's a bullshit artist, but he said some things that I think are kind of interesting at the same time, I guess. But yeah, that guy's a con artist.
Oh, come on, Pete.
Hold on, Eric.
He is. He was talking about aliens and Atlantis and all this bullshit. He sold a book about aliens and Atlantis.
Yeah,
hold on, Eric. Eric, really quick. Eric, some people is saying you're getting paid and all that stuff. You gotta explain yourself. Being the leader of this movement, you gotta explain yourself. Please go. Eric, go.
I'm not a leader of anything, and I have no interest in it. And yeah, I packed my bags. They're not done. I'm not done packing yet. Still, it's a long process here. I'm leaving January 1st, buddy. I'll be sure to live stream from JFK, and when I get into Shanghai, I'll live stream just for Seaside Ronnie.
But maybe Seaside wants you to be his leader.
But you addressed a concern on a comment, but you didn't deny that you were the leader, so you are. Okay, thank you.
Yo, Jose, you're fucking hilarious, bro. I swear.
He is. I can't believe this guy Seaside is just everywhere. He just fucking.
I don't see him anymore. I've got him pretty good. pretty well blocked. I just
I'm gonna block him.
And I don't talk about him. Don't give him the power. Don't give him the time. He's a nobody.
Let's see. I'm right here to block.
Nobody.
Bye, faggot. He'll come on with another name.
No swearing.
That's not swearing. Faggot. Shall I read the definition of faggot?
Faggot retracted.
Shall I read it? Faggot. Or fag, I mean the root word. Fag. A tiring or unwelcome task. Example. It's too much a fag to drive all the way there and back.
No. Now look at the definition in the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. I'm a classical. I mean, Negro doesn't mean anything about human beings. It means black. It's just a color. Negro. It's just a color.
You say black in Spanish, isn't it?
Nigger.
That's how you say black in Spanish, right?
I remember, like, growing up, they tried brainwashing us that Negro meant ignorant. Like, doesn't even look at the dictionary. No, Negro doesn't mean that. It means black.
Negro they said nigger meant ignorant. So
niggers they just twisted Negro. It's just Negro, nigger, whatever. It's the same thing. It's dumb. It's just a word. It means black. Fuck.
I called this white guy a nigger on the street the other day. It was funny.
I've called lots of white guys.
What did he say?
He just looked at me and then he kept walking.
These
fucking people in Fargo are docile. Yeah.
So you're walking down the street and you randomly called some random white guy a nigger.
Yeah, I'm in the crosswalk and this guy was coming from this other crosswalk and he was right in front of me and I just go. No, he didn't do anything to piss me off. I just thought it'd be funny if I just said nigger, and then
you're fucked up, dude. You
just completely out of the blue, just nigger.
Experiment.
And then he looked at me and he kept walking. I was just wondering what he would do if some guy just said nigger.
You should have added to it. And yeah, you motherfucker. Fuck his mind up. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you.
I said it in a friendly way.
Yeah, it's like saying dude. You know, it's like saying dude.
My nigger.
Wow. Isn't it funny how if you say it that way and you add my to it, then it's cool? Like, you just add my to it. Then, oh, yeah, bro.
It's really funny that black hip-hop culture has made it so they call each other niggers and bitches.
Yeah, fucked up.
I don't think it's funny.
Well, it's sad, really. But yeah, it's dumb.
It is pretty dumb.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, you call your buddies, hey, cabrón. And then they're cool, like, hey, what's up, man? But then if you're in a fight, you're in an argument, you go like, hey, cabrón. Oh, man, that's fight. You know it.
So do you think that's some programming that you're calling your buddy the same thing as you would say something you're gonna fight? Yeah. Like, is that some fucking brainwashing? And then look how like friends don't even get along anymore, right? So there might be something to that.
Yeah, the same word can be a friendly word and a trigger word in the same breath.
Yeah, and it's funny, like in English, you know, when you like what are some major fighting? Like if you call a guy cocksucker, that's like you don't call your buddy cocksucker. I mean, it's just somebody calls you a
cunt. It's like cunt. If you call someone a cunt in England, then it's gonna
go exactly.
It's like in the 80s when bad meant good. You know, you'd say bad when you meant good. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
same thing. Your body's, and you go like, fuck off, man. And it's a laugh, you know, it's a joke. But then you go in an argument, you fuck off, man. That's punches flying, you know.
Yeah, but there are certain words that are just fighting words in right now, and they could change that as well. They probably will.
Damn.
Like I wouldn't be surprised in 5 years if like cocksucker is it's cool to call your buddy cocksucker or cunt in the UK.
Yeah, I don't know. I swear too much. I wish I didn't.
I went through a phase where I tried not doing it. It was pretty healthy. It's a good mental exercise just to be aware of what you're saying. But I still like doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, fuck that.
I agree.
You know where the concept of dirty words came from? That was in the Victorian era when everything German, like fick, fuck, shite, schiss, was dirty. So, you know, everything that had a root in German became a quote dirty word.
I think foul language makes you sound kind of ignorant when you talk, and it's important to present yourself better. I used to not really care how I presented myself, because I feel like people should judge you based on your content rather than your presentation. But people really make a lot of judgments based solely on presentation, so I guess it's not really a good philosophy.
In a slight different subject, how about back in the day that women couldn't show the ankles because that was pornography? They showed like the ankles or the shin bone.
Yeah,
oh my God, that was hot, you know?
That shows you how we're socially conditioned over time slowly. I remember when I was a little kid, my grandma saw like a bikini lady on television. She freaked out, thought it was porn.
Right.
But Jose, do you really believe that there was a time when people would get horny from looking at friggin' ankles?
My grandpa used to tell me those stories, like for real.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of stories in my life, but it's just things like that. You have to question that. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah. It's not that it's real, but
ankles.
Yeah,
no, it's
maybe,
true.
Maybe,
it's true,
yeah.
because like what is social or sexually attractive is it's not an objective thing. It's a subjective thing based on what the society says is sexually attractive. I don't know if this is still true,
exactly.
But in the 60s, like Japanese men were attracted to the back of a woman's neck, for example, and they didn't really care about breasts. But men in the West were obsessed with breasts, right?
Yeah.
But don't you think that more men started looking at ankles after someone said, "Oh, she's showing her ankles again"? I think we should forbid that because it's pornographic.
Well, here's the other thing. I remember growing up,
people sitting in caves jerking off to ankles, because I still don't know anyone that jerks off to ankles.
Well, here's the other thing.
Some ankles.
So why is it bad?
Your ankles.
Dude,
if you walk into your hot,
all it has to do is have Kourtney Kardashian get ankle surgery, and then like ankles will be the fucking in thing, you know? It's like that's how.
Oh my God!
Bring it back.
Why will a woman freak out if you walk into her bedroom and she's in her underwear, but if she'll go to the beach and wear a bikini, which is pretty much maybe even less than her underwear, and that's perfectly normal.
Don't throw all women in one box, dude. Don't go there.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you walk in on your hot aunt and, you know, in her underwear, she freaks out and covers herself.
So hold on. Let me do this analogy. So women wear now mini skirts and they show half of their butt cheeks, right? I mean, like walking in the streets even with the boyfriend and the dads, right? So, all right, let's see. What is this place that men wear these skirts or whatever? Where they play this instrument?
Ireland.
Finland? Ireland, right? So let's say now a man will use a mini skirt, and then the ball sack is hanging down the pants. It's like the same shit. Like the women.
Ireland?
Yeah,
Ireland,
like the
Scotland.
women wearing miniskirts showing the butt cheek. Men just wearing miniskirts and the balls are hanging like on the side of the thing. Is that right? Like that's okay, guys. That's right.
The curve of the earth is kind of like a mini skirt because it obstructs from the bottom up.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, how people have so much cognitive dissonance about so many things.
Yeah. Well, people just don't think. I mean, you know, we were talking about how people sell lies and how people buy lies. And I mean, it's really weird that not everyone actually is aware that there are people on this place that will lie to you and that will try to sell you a lie or bullshit or something that doesn't work. It's so fucking retarded. But oh no, I saw it on TV, read it in the papers, heard it on the radio. Oh, well, it's gonna be real then, isn't it? Yeah. And the thing is, people don't even think about it. They think they've heard something new and they think they're actually gonna look really smart if they're the first one to mention it. So that's how the shit actually gets passed on. And it's the same in the truther community. There's so many cookies that have been put down, but they've been pissed on. But people jump on this pissed on cookie and they celebrate it like it's a fucking feast meal. when it's actually just a bullshit trap to make you smell a cat.
Yeah, I was reading and so
like flat Earth, right, P?
Well,
Solar Soil.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading a book about how to brainwash people.
Give me an address. I'll send you a book.
To make something think a fact is real, they had it down to the number of sources that they needed to make people, the general public, believe it. And what they would do is they would it was like 5 sources. So they would have like a university professor give a lecture, a book would come out, a magazine would write about the topic, you know, and then I don't know, so a newspaper would support the topic. So they'd have all these sources that people thought were autonomous, meaning not connected, all echoing and parroting the same thing. And then it was just they would control the top sources, and then all the other little people would just parrot what the people at the top were saying. And so they could make people believe shit in doing this, bunch of lies or whatever.
Like the news, P, right? A collage of editorials and stuff from all channels.
I had a good quote about the news I was reading in a book called Propaganda: How to Shape Men's Opinions. This book by Jacques Ellul, and he was saying that.
It's so easy.
I'm gonna get the quote. I want to read it.
Well, guys, this is me. My wife just got home from work, so happy Christmas, and I'll see you all around.
You too.
Yeah, take care, Jose.
Cheers, man.
Hi, Jose.
Take care. Liebe. You found that quote?
Yeah. He says, the news event may be a real fact, existing objectively, or it may be only an item of information, the dissemination of a supposed fact. What makes it news is its dissemination, not its objective reality. So he's saying there that things in the news, they can be true or they may not be true, but what makes it a news is just the simple fact that the people in the news are saying it, right? So it doesn't have to be true, basically. He says it right there in this. It's called Jacques Ellul, the book's Propaganda. Yeah.
So why doesn't that count for scientists and NASA?
Oh, I believe it does. But here's the thing: is like I think they lie to us about some things, but I don't think everything is a lie. I think a lot of a good liar isn't gonna just.
So let me. I mean, I'll build with you.
They mix truth and lies, you know.
I'll build with you, Pete, on the news. I mean, you are correct. I'll agree with you with that. With the news, the only 2 things that I can see that couldn't be close to truth is news report and traffic. Other than that, it's snowflake. And that's just the news, you know. But that's just one part with the for the psychic hypnosis, but actually, the whole TV itself is very interesting. I mean, they did an actual experiment where they had I said the word experiment, didn't I? Wow, interesting. Well, they did an observation with 4 or 5 people, and they were strapped in a chair with readings, right? And what they were measuring is the alpha, beta, delta, and theta waves based on frequencies. So they want to know exactly the threshold. So what they did is they put a TV in front of these 5 or 6 people, and they started playing the TV. The measurement they got, as soon as they put some kind of commercial or whatever, a TV, they went from alpha wave to beta wave within about 30, 40 seconds. So let's identify what the beta wave is at. So if you're actually in that beta wave, then obviously subjective thinking is at a presence. So when you're dealing with marketing, they look for that, and they'll assert products or logos or whatever it is that makes it interesting to buy their product. Even words too, the way how we speak. Second thing is obviously, you know, if it is subjective to a point. They will insert a certain information of what they need to assert, just on just based on that particular psychology. Now, the hardware to it, I don't know as far as rumors or gossips, but itself and what it can do, it could, from what I hear, it could actually even change our bodies or atomic features, because that TV itself is magnetic, and it's something about that TV that it's physically not correct for our body. So that is one part just in the TV, but then we're also getting hit with the radio too. So we are being shaped magnetically just on the TV itself and the radio. And this is every day, Monday to Friday, if you were to do this type of program. But if you're in the program going to work, those are the things that we're actually consuming, those information, those news, and the reality that we're actually perpetuating. So, just in all seriousness, that the psychic hypnosis is being thwarted, and it's malleable, it's being used subjectively. And it's very interesting how they use it. So just be wary of things you guys watch on TV and the radios that you listen to. So they are that calculated.
Yeah, all
what can I call you?
The entertainment industry is weaponized. People think they're just there to laugh at a comedy. It's not like that.
It's a pillow. I think it's a pillowcase, P. This is why they call it tunnel vision, and you're being channeled, and they have the program is there. Those key those are your trigger words, and it should hopefully, somewhat, deprogram you by just those words I give you just for those TV. I don't watch TV anymore, nor I listen to the radio. I actually troll myself, which I find it humorous. So that's the only way I find entertaining. And I go to you guys, you guys are just as entertaining. I go to other channels where there's either diversity, where they have music, and heck, if a string breaks or they say shit in the middle of my podcast, that is natural to me. And then again, they'll start winging it, and it's just as good as any radio out there. So I'm replacing those types of medium, that I used to enjoy. And then I'm looking for more of the natural world, or the people, what is more natural. So, news is really your north, east, west, and south for the globalists. That's what the news is. So they have that idea, and that is their reality they want to give us.
Yep, totally agreed. What can I call you?
You can call me Sai. You can call me a lot of things. Yeah, Sai. Just simply Sai.
Nice to meet you. You can call me Doug or whatever you want.
Hey, Dunkel. It's a pleasure meeting with you. A Sai would be just like a breath of fresh air and relax. And that's
nice thinking.
Yeah, I actually put those letters are chain letters, so you can whatever you feel. You can just put it right there. I'll respond. I've been called a lot of names, but just with those letters.
Well, names say more about the person giving them than they do about the person with it, don't they?
Truly. I agree. It's more of a humor to me that the legal fiction is there. So I'm very much happy to actually play around with these letters.
Yep.
Dunkel, where are you from?
Doug, I'm in Germany.
Doug. Oh, you're in Germany.
Doug.
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent. I have a friend also in Germany. His name is Artis. He lives in a small village, but very interesting fellow. Yeah, he actually does research of the past as well, and he's got 20 or more or maybe 10 tetrabytes of photos and stuff. So he's a walking library just on 10 tetrabytes worth of information, pictures, and research that he's done from the past. And he's from Germany. Great guy. He's in one of the channels that I meet with him. That I get to talk to.
There's a lot to be researched, if we're honest.
Sure. As far as honesty, it's definitely is there. There's no problem meeting the people out there and speaking to them. You could tell already if they're genuine or not. Also, like just going to other channels too, you could just pick it out to see who they are. I tend to go to a lot of channels. They might have a few channels that I do like. You'll find me in Nathan's channel. You'll find me in Goy's channel. You'll find me in Bro Sandro's channel. You'll find me in Poncho's channel. So, or maybe the NASA channel. But just for
the NASA channel being what's his face? You mean, don't you?
Mm-hmm. The ISS.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ISS.
Oh, that one actually.
Yeah, I would go there, and also Reg Rhetoric. Just, I don't know. It's funny.
Have you ever heard really strange stuff coming out of Red Rhetoric's mouth when he's on a hangout? Because I stopped by there a while, must be a week ago now, right. And I heard some really creepy stuff coming out of his mouth. He's
So what are you picking up, Doug?
Well, porn, and they were talking about porn and a GoFundMe to get someone laid, and then one of the other dudes was talking about building a porn showing toaster that is screwable, and I just picture a bunch of nerdy kids sitting at home in.
Correct. That's funny. That's drama and stuff like that. Going to that. But
you got me really messed up to even just think about that, and to say it on the air with having, I don't know how many people were watching, but it's blatantly too many, and it's just wow. I was really gobsmacked when I heard them talking about it. It was quite something. I should have filmed myself.
Well, I can explain what's going on there. So every Hollywood comedy movie that comes out, it's like filled with gay jokes, and that's because there's like an agenda to normalize homosexuality. Gay. So you got a guy like Red's Rhetoric who is obsessed with Hollywood and watches all these comedies, and it's all gay jokes. So when he goes on YouTube to do a hangout and he's trying to make people laugh, like it's all a big gay joke. So
he can't be manipulated, Pete, because he can science and math. And he believes in a spinning ball in an infinite bullshit empty.
Well, I think we all can be. I don't think just because you're a freaking truther means you can't be manipulated either. I think we're all gullible. There's a bunch of scams and false information in the alternative truth community is full of false scams.
I have to agree with you, Pete. Sometimes I don't know whether or not I find it under psychic hypnosis, because it is these guys. We pay for these people to do this to us, in a sense, and a lot of good money too, and the technology, the resources that we provide to them. Just last night I was thinking of a V-string. You know what I mean? What the hell was I thinking about a V-string? Well, obviously.
What's a V-string?
Which is a G-string, but I call it a V-string.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
But the reason why I call it a V-string is that I had a great idea. I'm supporting this type of movement out in France. They're wearing the yellow jackets, and I was like, heck, these guys are like combat fatigue. We're paying them. They know exactly the drill. They know what to do. They have the resources, and they do this all the time. They're excited. We're giving them the video games that supports it. We have the TV for them to enjoy it. So now they're out there to live it and then go through with it as an NPC player. Now they see this yellow jacket, which is actually the program, which is an opposition. What are they gonna do? They got shields. They have tear gases. They have maces. They have tasers. They've got everything.
Yeah, but they can't. Yeah, but they can't just. We have the majority.
We have the majority, but here's the thing. The majority is programmed, and they're so programmed, just like, remember I told you, every 5 days a week. 5 days a week, they're watching TV, they're going to work,
I think
definitely.
I think the idea that...
That's why you surround...
The idea that I think the idea that people have power is a myth. I think, because like what I read, Carl Jung said something interesting where he said that... He said 1 million zeros still add up to 0. And that's what we are. We're like zeros.
We're all
bullshit.
In terms of like a social hierarchy,
I don't agree with you on that, P.
In terms of a social hierarchy in our society,
my...
we're the peasant class. We're the zero. So like you add up all the peasants.
That's what they want us to think, P. I would think that you, of all people, would see that. Like they want us to think we're fucking insignificant. Come on, man. Are you serious? Like you think if people weren't just dumbed down and retarded and just focusing on nonsense like, I mean, forgive me if you love it, but football and fucking golf and dumb shit like that all the time, you don't think like we would be able to overpower them?
Sing it,
you don't think we don't outnumber them? I mean, come on, Pete. They just want us to think we're fucking insignificant.
The average citizen is giving away their power everywhere they turn. They get a license, they get a permit, they go to church, they give their money to the church, they give their taxes, they vote for other people. The whole thing is just giving away your power. The whole system is all about giving away your power.
Well,
Go ahead,
guys. Well, in the news,
have you never been in a situation where you were enough people that nothing happened for the simple fact that there was no chance for one team and they recognized that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's already it's being shown on TV in France. There will be like 1,000 people, and there will be like 15 stormtroopers, and they're managing them like cattle. They're moving along in the bus. But now here's the thing. That's the program. So for example, we know now. Here's the thing. Let's get outside this and look at this objectively. We don't even know exactly the observation, which is we can telegraph this already. They're a responsive team. So let's just hit this psychologically, the psychological warfare. Now this is where it comes with my V string. All right. Now obviously they're coming in with the yellow jackets and everything else. Now my choice is two things, right? Is to get the most hottest woman with the vest wearing action pants or a V-string underpants. What could happen? They'll diffuse. They wouldn't know what to do. Now think about this. You have like an actual you fight with your girlfriend, but in the end you're having sex with this person, right? So it's almost the same thing where they have this testosterone, this stormtroopers with billy clubs and everything else. But if you have 20 people or like over 100 women, beautiful women with action pants, tight with speedos, are you gonna billy club these girls, or are you gonna take them out? They're not prepared for that type of thing. That's just one part of a discussion that we could play with their minds. My gosh. Then for the men, now maybe a speedo or a crotch pocket just for fun. But then again, who knows? They may get beat up by being gay, but because they're wearing crotch pockets, underpants. So I don't know. That's I'm not sure about that. But
and seriously, if you ever want to see police be very happy if everyone's calm, go to a football game here in Europe, a soccer game. Man, when the armies march into the stadium there, the police will just quite happily stand at the side and hope that they all behave because they don't want to mess with them.
I mean, they work for. I mean, it's critical. I mean, they are once they pull down their shields and their guns and everything else, then they become us. They are who we are. Because when they leave their jurisdiction and go to another place, they don't want to get extorted and raped and then raided. So we want to give them this type of thought or a pulse that we know this. That if you actually go outside your jurisdiction, what you're doing, you are going to get raped, you're going to get raided, and you're going to be extorted. Regardless, because that person is going to engage you with prejudice, regardless if you're a different person. So that's the person, and that's the pulse I want to give to these people around here. So, and at that case, with that method, not even saying it, it's like, when I see them and I'm either engaged with them, I know what they know and they know what I know in a point. And the trolling may either, I mean, I have so much engagement with them. It's like I know those guys already, you know what I mean? To a point that I could have a real good conversation with them. Really. I mean, it's like we're not even working, because I know they're working, and I'm not working. So if you want to actually escalate or de-escalate, that's how things are in that rule of method. But again, on a motivated part of riot and everything else, there's got to be a different way. It's got to be more calculated and thinking with your head. If you're gonna raid, if stores are gonna close down, start getting the people back in there, and then start talking to what we are talking about. What's the problem? Is it the money? Is it the system? These are the things that they don't want us talking about. So when we get like thousands of people, finally put away, not listening to TV and all that stuff, and they're all conjugated to a specific place. It's very scary. A forum, very scary.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. So I yield the floor.
Yeah, but the other problem is there's two types of brainwashing we're fighting right now, right? We're fighting the brainwashing of the regular people who have been dumbed down and just want government to keep taking their rights and their laws and making more laws and all that shit. But then there's also the authorities, like these people in France, right? Like, at what point do the police stop and say, holy shit, like, look at all these people coming at us, and put their shit down and say, hey, I'm one of you guys, and maybe we should be fighting this shit together, and maybe the police should turn around and fight the people that gave them the fucking orders to attack the regular people. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's two types of brainwashing that we're fighting right now. The authorities and the people, because I'm sure there are a whole lot of good police out there, but there are ones that don't separate them. Well, they separate themselves from the people. They forget that they're here supposed to be protecting us, like regular people.
We shouldn't forget that when we say, are there good police, are we talking about the man?
I'm talking about individual cops. I'm not going to sit here and say every cop on the planet is fucked up. Is out there killing people.
Chocolate, what I'm asking is,
let bad cops be bad cops.
Are we talking about the guy in uniform? Or are we talking about, like, let's imagine my son is a cop.
Well, originally, my original word was authority, so I didn't really.
Can we stop there for a second? All right, so
sure.
All right, I want to stop everybody first because words usually deflect us, and we get right. All right, authority, very very interesting. Right now, every one of us on this panel are authorized signature representatives. We've been assigned as the authority because we are the author of the person, which is our. So if the question is who is the authority of your jurisdiction, it would be you, because you are the authority of your jurisdiction.
Oh, right, definitely, definitely, I agree. But there are others that would impose their authority upon us.
Correct. And this is where, again, how the reason why presumptions and presuppose works in the science fiction, and it also works in the legal fiction. They're all intertwined as one, and that's how this fiction works on both sides of the head. So they're presupposing, assuming they are authority, and they are assuming to you to actually, for example, pulling you over to hand over your property, which is your driver's license, insurance, and whatever, your credit, your Social Security. Now, but here's the thing. Now, they're demanding that. That's very interesting. So, or they may seem to be demanding that, but they're actually presuming that you forfeit over their property. Now, since I'm giving you a word that you are the authority, and property is really what you have, which is your picture, your license and insurance. It's really your straw man, the name. Mm-hmm. The straw man is very, very interesting because the straw man can be engaged with a contract for any fiction. Right. So that straw man is very, very important, because once they have your straw man, because when you forfeit your straw man, then it becomes a voodoo doll. They're going to start poking at it and stuff. Here's your charges. That's a voodoo doll. It's a very strong spell. Now, you want to hold guard that straw man, and now it's your property. But this guy you don't even know is asking for your straw man. Yeah. So in the world of commerce, which is credit and debtor, as far as in this system that we are engaged with, is we are trying to actually do a conditional or acceptance. For example, if you are going to buy a car that you like, and the salesman or actually the judge offers you a $20,000 bail or $20,000 charge for the car, the cost of the car, you're going to say, okay, yes, I'll accept that $20,000 bail, $20,000 charge, upon condition that you give me 4 brand new tires. Upon condition, you release any liens and levy today. It's called conditional and approval when you're engaged in commerce. So when a person asks you for your license, insurance, and registration because you're conditioned to pull over, and because you think it's an emergency, you think you hit somebody or you damaged property, those are the materials you have. You're ready to go, rock and roll. Now, if the guy asks for that, you can ask, hey, no problem, I got mine. Do you have yours? What happens after that?
Yeah, and when we're talking about cops or dealing with them, we got to remember that these cops are also sons and daughters and maybe fathers.
Yeah.
So, they're just another man, be they male or female. So when they're trying to be a dick / cop, it can behoove us to try to remind them that they're just a man too, and try to get through this crap that we're living in. So when we say, not all cops are bad, in my view, when a man puts on a uniform and wears a badge, he is engaged in badness. That's it, full stop. Yeah, can a cop do something that's good? Like maybe pull a guy from a burning car at the side of the road? Yes, but so can I, so can you. You understand? So putting on that uniform doesn't give him any special rights and doesn't make him a hero any more or less than you and I as a plumber, as a carpenter, as a computer programmer, okay? So when you say a cop, what is a cop?
That's the brainwashing right there, brother, because I'm sure
right,
a lot of
but
them
that's what we need to
disagree with that. So that's what I mean.
That is the brainwashing, but that's the shit we need to overcome. We're all just men here dealing with other men and the other shit, nature, weather, blah 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 blah. Why is there another man with a clown uniform in my face trying to tell me I'm bad? I mean, that's the question I just asked. Like, what did I do? Who am I hurting? So it's complex. I try to look at it step by step. To me, cops, when a man has a uniform on, they're doing something that's bad, immoral. He may be a good guy, may be a great neighbor, the guy that helps you, I don't deny that. But when he's got that uniform on and he's pulling me over and trying to get money from me, no, I call foul. Simple as that.
Well, right now, the way how the courts are, the corporations, municipalities are built up is 2 basic things. It's actually deprivation of rights and damaged property. And this is everywhere. Wherever you find there's a Federal Reserve in the Constitution, it is a franchise. And they operate the same way in legality. As far as, getting a ticket or pulling over, they are doing their business, but there's ways to de-escalate the ticket without even getting a ticket, or even de-escalating the ticket even while you're presenting yourself in the municipality. It all takes as far as knowing who you are and either presenting yourself. And again, the true thing is the idea: if you are the authority and you are the signature bearer, their job and their duty is you what the belief shown. But you don't phone or a parking ticket and try it out and see how it works. I mean, become that beginning litigator. You'll see exactly the pomp and circumstance work, and when you challenge a jurisdiction, you'll see exactly how they work. They'll be, it's the other way around. The public defender becomes is the worst person to actually hire. The prosecutor is really your public defender, and the magistrate or the person in front of you with that cloak is really your prosecutor. So that is really how everything is set up. In the municipality, they do not observe Constitution, so do not even become crying out like this and Constitution that. It's federally observed. It's federal, and those guys are municipality, lower circuit court, boiler room, whatever. They're really a corporation. Really, they're not real. Now the idea is actually that you're being engaged in the contract, and basically that's what you're there for. So let me give you like a skinny on this, so then you have an idea. The idea of this is really not a fear of it. You don't have to know the statutes and codes, of millions of them now, and they're always constantly making them. You don't have to be a professional with that. But what you really need to know is really your personal jurisdiction, your space, really. Know your own personal laws, your vows. Those are your laws, and then that's pretty much it. If you know those things, that if your space is not invaded, or you haven't invaded anybody's space, then you definitely know that you can present yourself strongly than anyone else, based on you know exactly what really the truth is. Now, since I've told you the basic foundations is actually deprivation of rights and also damaged property. Those are the two things, right? And that's how they considered more legally and accepted to be legal. And those are being observed and actually tried at your Supreme and also Supreme Courts, not at the boiler courts. Your Superior Courts, Court of Records, really. Those are the ones that are defining there's a real plaintiff, not a prosecutor. There's a real defendant, and it's very easy for Superior Court to see those two because one or the other is damaged property or somebody's been victimized. Okay, but in a lower reality where you're getting pulled over and all that stuff and everything else, which is that fear, it is this. It's a small little monkey. That's pretty much it. It's a cute little monkey, and then you say, "Hi, little monkey," and you visit, and then all of a sudden you tell little monkey, "Listen, little monkey," which is either the prosecutor. You just tell him, "Listen, there's no cause or action which I could provide any remedy, and no proof of jurisdiction." Those two, cause of action is actually, which is part of the remedy, is your damaged property and everything. The jurisdiction, they have to prove to you that you're under jurisdiction. You know what I mean? There is no proof that you can give them that you're subject to their jurisdiction either, unless you are bounded by oath or you're working for the public. That's all. So you know what I mean? If that's the only thing that you are subjecting yourself in that jurisdiction in that Walmart world. Other than that, that's it. You're actually litigating against a fictional character, which is the plaintiff. If you're going through a traffic court, which is, your stop signs and stuff. So go try it out. I mean, see how things work. Know those two things, because you need causation, because the science and legal science operate the same way of the scientific method as well. Same exact way. That's how it's broken down. So, therefore, if you have P plus Q, in the legal sense, it's A plus B plus C means A, B, means A, B, C. So, therefore, can I not say A, B, C is A plus B plus C? So, let's identify A plus B plus C. So, A is the energy company. C is the insurance company. Let's see. 3 is the bank. So can I say the energy company, insurance company, the bank is the court? Or can I say the court is the insurance company, the bank, or those agencies? They're one and the same. because either you're getting pulled over energy bill or eight forms of gas, it's still going to be the court. Now the word bench, and it means bank, and then also, and if you are in actually British Columbia, you're at the Queen's Bench. Now that's very interesting. British Columbia. In Washington, we have the District of Columbia, and District of Columbia, all our senators and all our has, which you got some because it all leads to a specific place based on this maritime law. Now, basically, this is how we see the franchise work around this area. Whether you're litigating here in the U.S., you have no different litigating in the U.K. As long as you see there's a Federal Reserve, it's one and the same. So I yield the floor. I'm sorry. I think you guys. Did I lose you guys?
Nah, I was trying to follow you. You started breaking up the last couple of sentences. But yeah, I was trying to follow you as best as I could.
It's usually when I pass the trooper inspection station.
Yeah. You're breaking up pretty bad.
But I'm
I hear
enjoying
you,
my
man.
Christmas.
Go ahead.
Sure, yeah, I'm enjoying this Christmas. I mean, I have this pagan holiday. I haven't seen the sun in about let's see, almost 2 weeks, and I haven't had a day. I've been working every day, so this is the only pagan day I'm off, and I'm enjoying myself right now. That's why I'm kind of excited.
That's awesome, brother.
I hope you guys could hear me, but I'm not sure if it's me or you guys.
I can hear you better now.
Where are you, by the way? It looks pretty nice there.
I am actually on Route 80 in New Jersey.
I was just gonna say it looks
like Garden State.
Yeah, Garden State Parkway.
Yeah.
You live in Jersey?
I have a house in Jersey, yes. But I'm right now in the Pocono Mountains. I'm with the missus, but I'm actually maybe in 2-3 weeks I'll be transferring over to the Philippines. You know, I'm going to be hanging out there for a while.
You going over there to stay for a while to live?
Well, I have a property over there, so in Manila.
Cool.
So I'm just gonna hang and chill and then see if there's I heard there's milking tables there and glory holes, so I'm gonna go check it out.
That's one place in Asia. I've not been to the Philippines yet. I've been to I haven't been to the Philippines and Burma. Those are the only two East Asia I've not been in.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Hello.
Hi.
Being in the military, we call this the adult Disneyland. Manila.
Yeah.
So
I heard Manila's not really a great place to be.
No, not really. I mean, there's other places and stuff like that. You know, that's what I'm looking to do is explore. I'll let you guys know. I mean, I'm gonna take you guys with me as long as I have 5G. Right? But no, as long as I have access, I'll be able to I'll broadcast to you guys. But good you're back, Doug.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Very good. You don't have a German accent, Doug. You sound like you're from Australia.
I'm good. I'm pretty good with languages and accents in general. I do a lot of I used to do a lot of fuckery around here, Germany, where I'd actually walk around and just go "Ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch" and spend entire evenings playing the dumb American or dumb English.
Cool, man. That's real cool. Do you play the guitar or any instruments at all?
No, I don't. I'm actually very unmusical. But since I've really got into boycotting fake music, Hollywood, and all the other bullshit, I was actually really happy. It was my birthday in November, and a buddy of mine that taught himself to play a bit of guitar, that likes playing out in the garden, in my garden, he got me a harmonica. So I'm actually really looking forward to maybe teaching myself a bit of harmonica, and just because the music does, you know, you do miss it. I used to listen to way more music.
I used to have one when I was a kid.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I've actually got a cousin in America who's quite a big harmonica player.
One of the channels I'm in right now is very strong on not harmonics, but they're very strong with music and with music. A lot of artists in one of the channels I'm in. Not only that, they're focused on frequencies, sound vibrations, levitations, magnetism, you name it, on the floor. So here's a thought exercise. Ready? Okay. You guys know what a bee is, right? You know, it flies around, all that stuff, and it's very interesting how it flies.
Yeah.
Now, do you know the anatomical structure of a bumblebee?
Yeah, I know where you're going. I've looked into that.
Very good. And you know how they dig, correct? But actually, I don't want to go a little bit forward since you already know. But for the rest of the guys in the panel, now those sizes like mega size, huge compared to the structure of the wings. If you looked at the wings, it's not meant to. Those wings are not meant to fly more than directional. The way how the bumblebee itself, its structure, it's the way it's beautiful is through vibrations and through sound. It's levitating and sailing beautifully through the medium. So that is one of the things that that we've discussed about in the panel. And secondly, other things, what causes things to actually levitate and stuff. Very interesting. So I just wanted to throw you about one of those thoughts.
Yeah, they did. I mean, there was some people that did a lot of experiments with the shell wings from bugs and stuff, and
absolutely
tried frequencies and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's fascinating because everyone does say a bumblebee can't actually or shouldn't be able to fly, but every man, woman, and child can go out and see them fly. And the thing is, they don't. If you think about it, if you see a bee or a whatever fly, they don't actually turn like we do. They don't bank and turn into it. They just
turn.
It's more like a UFO kind of. It's more of a levitating than anything else.
It's so with that technology, 60s affect the text point. So the fuel that they're using, it's fuel, and the rest is air compression. Once it's pulling, it's actually pulling and pushing. It's a very interesting method how air turbines are with the APU. The APU unit is the one that kicks in the turbines, man. It's that compression. So once you're at the perfect altitude pitch, you're getting that. Oh God, you're getting all the resources you need to get that motor going. So that's the bumblebee.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, man. That's how we're being lied to. Everything, we're being lied to everything.
Yeah. There's definitely something about that whole airline thing to me.
What's that, Jim?
I don't know.
You tell me that.
So there's definitely something about that airline, the compressed air and the gas and fuel and all that.
Sure.
Something to that, man, because like I say, I used to work at an airport too, so.
Sure. Yeah.
It strikes me weird because I don't know how they could fit all that fuel in the plane. I don't see where, because I know how big the cargo bays were,
We did the math.
Yeah, the wings. Because where I used to work, we had an Airbus A320.
Oh, 320.
And,
A320. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it would be the A380s, the ones that shows dramatically. I got to see if they did it with those turbines. I'm not sure about the A320. But that's something to talk to Pete about it, because those guys are like friggin' motivated. They actually right now, since they scaled it and did the math, now they're gonna chop it down and gonna build a model. And then, you know, for a certain model that they're gonna build, it's 2,000. They need 2,000 Coca-Cola liter bottles.
Sure. That's pretty dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Obviously,
I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, I popped that, but that was Pete is that. Doug, I'm not sure Pete, but Pete is the one who's actually like motivated, like. You know,
yeah, I heard him talking about it the other day. Sounded very hype about it too.
It's the F1 race cars. The reason why he's thinking about that, and he wants to deconstruct the F1 race cars, is because like the comparison is the sound that's giving the same, like this, it's giving off the same sound vibration as the A380, and
the race cars you're talking about?
Yeah, in the F1 race cars. So he's right now in the middle of everything.
As the A380.
Wattage, whatever. The 888.
Yeah, I actually asked my
sound vibration.
I actually asked my dad to that, because he spent his life as a mechanic.
Say that again, Doug.
I actually had a good chat with my dad about a lot of things, because he spent his life as an airplane mechanic, first Air Force, Germany, and then a big company. And the A380, I actually asked him, because I said they're claiming 480 tons of fuel, and he said no, but that's wrong. It's about 280. And I said, well, I'm pretty sure they're claiming 480. And he said, no, well, that's wrong. And I said, well, this is Airbus claiming it. Maybe you should call them, because I'm not sure they'll listen to me. And he just laughed.
And he's a pilot, or he was a pilot?
He was mechanic.
Mechanic.
He was mechanic.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
They would know better.
And I mean, in the garden, in our family garden, he's got two laminated posters hanging there with two different airplane types. It's a 727 and I think it's a little A320 or something. And it's got the fuel tanks, actually. It's like, you know, a cut. See, and you can see the fuel tanks. And I asked him about them, and he says he has been in fuel tanks. But then again, you know, in the old days, maybe that was different. But I do think that they are definitely using something different. They are doing something different now on the modern planes.
Right. Well,
but then again,
the way they used to refuel the planes where I worked was they would have a truck. They usually wouldn't have a fuel truck. They would have a truck that's fitted with a hose that would connect that hose one part to the ground and then the other part up to the wing, and that's where they would fill the plane supposedly with the fuel. Now, obviously, I wasn't the one doing that, so I wouldn't know how much fuel is actually going from the hose into the plane. But, you know, they wouldn't really be there very long, to be honest with you, because usually you would have they would try to turn the plane in a half hour, which means from the time it gets to the gate, they want to turn it around, which is offload it completely and then completely unload it for the next flight. So, I mean, I don't know how much fuel you're putting in there if it's supposed to be a flight going from New York to California somewhere. Like, that always struck me as a little weird. But, I mean, then again, some turns would be a little bit longer than others, but I don't know. Like, the proximity I worked with those planes, like, I couldn't see how they would fit all that fuel in just the wings. And knowing how big the cargo bays were, like, there's not a whole lot of room in that fuselage for fuel. So if it's not in the wings, and this is shit I never even thought of when I was working there, So it's all very interesting.
Yeah, and we got to remember, like, this whole thing about the education system, public education, it's still relatively new. Basic maths and literacy, this is relatively new. So the guys that drive the truck out there, pull the noodle from the truck and stick it into the plane, they're just doing their job, and they just look at a readout that says a certain number. Oh, it's full. So I mean, what do they know?
I know. I'm not calling for.
No, I'm just saying that
I was 2 seconds from getting that job myself. I just happened to go to another airline, another department. But
what I'm saying is that people, when you talk about stuff like this and you question stuff like this, they conspiracy. What about those guys that work at what about those guys that do that job? They're not really doing much. They drive a truck, pull off a hose, and they just wait for a readout on the meter to say it's full.
That's exactly it. That's it. That's all they're waiting for.
Yeah, I mean it's.
There would be no way of knowing. Now, I know that there is fuel being pumped because there were times that they would have little fuel spills and shit. Now, I don't know. I guess some people would think that's staged. I don't know how far they get into the conspiracy shit with it. But I know for a fact that jet fuel is a thing because I've smelled jet fuel. I used to work at the airport, and you actually become very accustomed to it. So I know what the smell of jet fuel is, and sometimes I actually miss it because I used to work, being that I worked there so long. It's one of those things where gas kind of smells good at times. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but
it is weird because if you think how long it takes to fill a car, if you look how long it takes to fill a tank or heavy duty, something big. And yes, they do have probably a bigger diameter and everything, but even if you see when they pump over water or fuel to Navy ships or pumping oil, filling a pool, the fire brigade comes to fill a pool, it still takes a while to pump, set amount of fluid through any size hole. So,
right.
But as I said,
now that would make sense for something like a flight, let's say a flight from, let's say Buffalo to JFK, right? Because they're both in New York. They're still very close. That's like a half-hour flight, right? But if you're taking the same time to fill a plane, supposedly that's going to the West Coast from JFK, let's say, I don't know, Sacramento or whatever, I don't know. Then I guess it becomes a little suspect. Like, how did you fill the plane? Was the plane already filled up? How much fuel did you actually have to put into the plane? Because it could have been fueled up from a short flight like, Buffalo to JFK or whatever, but either way, they tend to not put too much fuel, right? Because they don't want to overfuel it.
Well, exactly, because they say every excess weight would be excess fuel consumption.
Exactly. But then they have to compensate for the bags and all of that. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's a little weird now that I think about it. But maybe not.
Well, Pete already deconstructed the length of the pipe, the time of the timing of the pump.
You're breaking up, brother. Anybody still hear him?
No.
To Pete, because he's the one who deconstructed the actual the fuel, and also like the timing of the fuel as well.
Hmm.
Who was that you're talking about?
That's Pete. He knows it already. He actually he deconstructed the length of the fuel, the width of the fuel, not the length of the hose, the width of it. He knows as far as the timing and how fast of it and how much of it is supposed to go into that plane.
Classic P, the old conspiratard.
Yeah, so it's all broken down. Everything. It's like subject. As far as subject matter, he would know.
You're talking about Pete, Poncho Pete?
Mm-hmm, correct.
Oh, I thought Pete Mars.
No, Poncho Pete. Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I did hear him talking about it, getting into it a little bit the other day.
I'm not sure I actually know who Poncho Pete is. I'm gonna have to have a look, aren't I?
It's live 24/7.
Yeah. Sometimes I fall asleep listening to y'all over there. I came on the panel the other day and I fell asleep on the hangout and I woke up like, why do I hear people talking? And I'm like, what the fuck?
If you were a panel member, once you're in there, you just like you just.
I didn't want to fall asleep because it was when Kyle was getting into it with that with Jibby about that whole I don't even remember what the fuck.
Is this Flutter Poncho?
Oh yeah. You at Poncho. I will meet you at Poncho Channel at this time and this, and we're gonna go at it. We're gonna.
Yeah. He was mad hype. He was mad hype that day.
Choco, you missed it. That's nothing. That's Snowflake. It's funnier than that, man.
Oh no, I know. I fell asleep to it plenty of times without being on the panel. That was the first time I got on the panel, and I just literally passed out like, oh, this sounds interesting. I was done.
You woke up.
I was surprised my connection was still on. I was like, what the fuck? I was so confused. Like, what the hell?
Well, not only that, you woke up and the turtle laid an egg the next morning. I was like,
oh. Oh man.
That
was cool though.
Wasn't everything?
Dang, brother, you're breaking up pretty bad.
The turtle egg, like the turtle-dactyl egg, grew and flew away. It was funny. So
the turtle-dactyl.
Yeah, it was funny. There's a turtle-dactyl egg. There's also Jimmy Balls.
What
Jimmy
about
Neutron?
Ball?
What's that?
Just never mind.
No, it's okay. Yeah, there's a lot of skits over there too, funny skits. So it gets around the witching hour in the morning. That's when it gets weird. So that's when the skits gets to be.
That's when I
up.
usually fall asleep to it. That's what I put you guys on and fall asleep to it sometimes.
Okay.
That's depressing, man.
And we have guys who actually who speaks very well too, to a point that very relaxing, and you can just also fall asleep as well. And they're very, very good speakers as well. Doug, I mean, I'd like you to meet Merle. He's one of the guys over there. He's Doug.
Oh, Doug.
Yeah, you already know Merle, right?
Yeah, I know Merle.
Yeah, Merle, but Doug hasn't met Merle. I use Merle technology so I can relax. He's very, very good.
I'm always listening.
He's got the story of the shamans and everything. Very interesting.
Okay.
Almost poetic in a way when he actually when he speaks. Very interesting. But all right, guys, I'm gonna have to get going. I'm at my spot here, and I'm gonna try to catch you guys back later.
Yeah, sure. Take care. I'm out later, but definitely take care. Have a good time.
Yo, enjoy your holiday, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to speak to everybody. Nice to meet you, Doug.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you.
All right. Take care. Take care, Choco. Take care, P Mars. I'm not sure who else is here. I think I got everybody.
He's still out for walkies.
Okay. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I might drop too. I want to eat.
Yeah, I guess.
I want to be fat for a few minutes.
I guess I might make some food too, and then I'm pretty much set. Then I just have to wait a bit longer, and then later, dun dun dun.
You opening presents and shit?
No, I'm gonna club, man.
Oh, you going to the club?
Yes.
Kind of club.
I don't go party much, but today I go stand in front of the loudspeaker.
What kind of club? What kind of music do they play?
Well, I know who's doing the party tonight, and they always do electronic, so I haven't looked who's actually going to be DJing, but definitely electronic, and it's a music and culture club here in town in an old bunker, and so it's big concrete, hard floored, dark, but
that's cool.
I'll get
that's
some
big out
footage
there,
on my
like
phone to show you.
Say that again?
I'll get some footage on my mobile to show you next time.
Do it up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Down, brother. All right, man.
Well, yeah, take you too, Chocolate. Take care, man.
Yo, if I don't speak to you, enjoy your holiday, brother.
Thank you, man. You too. Love you, Chuck. Keep it real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always. P. Mars, if you're still there, I'm out.
No, I think he's still for walkies. But I bet the 16 watching will continue just trolling an empty hangout.
Yeah,
which is
I'm
quite
sure they'll have
pathetic.
fun doing that. Cool with me.
Yeah, me too. All right, Chuck, I love you. Keep it real.
All right, brother. I'll catch you, man.
Yep.
There we go, punk. I was just about to hang up.
Saying bye. We'll take it on.
What?
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Breaking up, but I'm assuming you're saying bye, so later.